We're here.
Are we live?
Here.
We're here.
We did it, guys.
We're here. We're queer.
Are we? Since when?
I was waiting for one of you guys to say that. I was waiting for, and I expected it from him. And we're here, guys.
We're here.
6 years. I was going to say 6 months. 6 years in the making. And we decided to go with an even bigger change that we did last week. Last week, you guys saw us with multi-cameras. This week, you guys seeing us in a completely different environment. First and foremost, we want to thank Zori, Zorab, Teddy, and Alex for making this possible. The first cheers from today's set goes to those four individuals. So cheers to you guys.
Thank you,
boys.
gentlemen.
Thank you,
Seriously.
guys.
Cheers
Appreciate
to you guys.
you all.
Our
You guys
set,
have heart of gold, man. We love you guys.
you have no idea what it means. Not only the fact that you guys support what we've been doing for the past 6 years, but allowing us to utilize a space to continue to grow the platform, continue to bring information to people, and continue to help guide people in the right direction in saving America.
Yes.
That's our first toast to the boys. Our second toast is to our very good friend Vi from Merherosted and our very good friend Joe, who are behind the scenes, who've been with us for a very, very long time. The two gentlemen that I was talking about last week that have been beating us over the head to go multi-camera and make some changes, those are the two gentlemen. So I want to give a second toast to Vi from Merherosted and Joe, our now producer, right behind the camera, behind the audio as well. So cheers to you boys as well.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
It's a big change for us, and there's a lot of interesting things that are going to be taking place. There's a lot of great guests we're going to be bringing on, and we're glad that every single one of you guys is in for the ride with us. So that being said, happy Monday, everybody.
TGIM, huh?
Good to be with you all.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 8 o'clock right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and like the page.
Follow the page.
Follow the page. Share it. If you're watching us on Twitter, subscribe to our Twitter channel. Retweet it. And if you're watching us on Kick, go ahead and subscribe to our Kick channel as well. A lot has been going on. I mean, look, we're not going to do a lot of change as far as format. We're going to continue to do the show. Yeah, we're in a different environment, but we're going to continue to do the show. So
you can expect the same three morons.
yeah.
Every Monday.
Basically, once in a while the boys. Well, no, I don't think once in a while. What am I saying? I'm trying to say that once in a while the boys will light up a cigar, but we're not even 20 seconds in and they've already got cigars lit. But
We're in a cigar lounge.
we are in a cigar lounge.
So we can legally, technically, and all aspects have a cigar now. Finally, huh?
Hell yeah.
What's the legal age for smoking again?
18.
21.
21.
Is it? Wow. When did
Mexico
this
is
happen?
18.
When did this
What is
whole...
that? Mexico is 7.
Mexico, if you're now smoking
when
by
did this
7
whole
years.
smoking change, like age change?
You're the only smoker from between the three of us.
When I started smoking, it was 18 and over.
Well, that was in 1984 when you started, so it's different.
Which he was 4.
A lot of, no, it was
One.
two.
I was one.
There was 1. There you go. But yeah, no, it's 21. So you guys could enjoy your cigars. And you know what? If you're at home and if you're outside your patio, light up a cigar along with us. If you're drinking something, tell us what you're drinking. So very, very quickly, we're going to, today is June 10th. We're going to go back about 4 days. June 6th was D-Day. For those of you that don't know what D-Day was, June 6th of 1944, which was 80 years ago. It was the 80-year commemoration of D-Day, which was when the United States and the Allies stormed the beaches of Normandy, which was in France. France.
Did they have the French accent back then, or it's?
Well, you know what? They were about to
evolved over the years.
Oh, it's evolved.
They were about to have a German accent. I'll tell you that much.
Very close to
Imagine speaking French in a German accent, bro. That would.
No. It would be German in a German accent. That's what it would be. Hitler was in France, man. That's one thing a lot of people need to realize, that during World War II, the German Nazis had basically taken over Europe. If D-Day hadn't taken place, where the United States has actually taken, action and gone into World War II, I would not be shocked if all of Europe was speaking German today.
I mean, that was the ultimate goal, I think.
Technically, it was the ultimate goal. It was to take over all of Europe and create this Aryan brotherhood or Aryan nation.
Aryan Europe.
Aryan Europe. So it was the 80th anniversary of D-Day. If you guys don't know what happened exactly, the United States and the Allies stormed Normandy. 160,000 troops, 5,000 ships, and 13,000 aircrafts. This is not, mind you, this is in 1944. So, full-blown war. You had the United States, England, Australia, Canada. Who else, man? I mean, the Allies were a bunch of nations together, and then it was all against Germany.
Not just Germany.
Well, it was Germany, Italy, Japan. Those were the Axis. That's what they called them, right? It was the Allies.
Axis of evil.
Yes, it was the Allies versus the Axis.
Do you think Germany would have lost if U.S. didn't intervene?
U.S. didn't have as big of a role in World War II as now Russia, USSR did. USSR had a way bigger role, and they lost. I don't want to. This is a guess. I think over 30 million population.
Russia did?
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
USSR.
USSR.
Yeah.
That's
See,
huge.
you got to look at it this way. U.S. joined World War II at the end of World War II. Sorry to
Basically.
tell you guys the truth, but that's what it is.
Well, the U.S.
we stormed in and said we got the victory,
well, the U.S. joined after Pearl Harbor was attacked. So Pearl Harbor was attacked, and by the Japanese.
Oh, really?
By the Japanese, and
Whoa. Japanese.
yeah, and mind you, this is the same. This was the same Japanese government that basically said that we cannot attack we cannot beat the Americans on American soil because behind every blade of grass is what's Edgar's favorite thing?
A weapon.
Rifle.
Is a gun. So the Japanese were actually hesitant to attack American soil, but they grew some cojones.
Did they really?
And they had some kamikaze flights.
Did they really? Did our government have any pre-warning to what was coming?
No.
No.
I think there was a post on Twitter. No?
On Twitter.
I mean, let's put it this way. My understanding, well, okay, a lot of you know that I'm a conspiracy theorist. So the way we got into the wars with Iraq and Afghanistan and all that, what was used, the false flag, same thing with that. That's my understanding, people. You're watching the WiseNuts.
I think every war was the same. Even during World War One, I remember reading an article from, was it 1912 or so? It was an old article. I didn't read it at the time I read it.
No shit.
Yeah, but
Oh, you weren't around back then?
95 years later, I think I read the article.
Oh,
But
I thought you were around.
just want to
back
clarify, just in
He
case.
ages pretty
Yeah.
well.
And and the article stated how the United States intentionally sent a cruise ship with United States citizens on board where they weren't supposed to, and that's when the cruise ship was hit, and they pretty much blasted that article across the country to convince the people to go that we need to participate and get involved in World War One.
I mean, Gulf of Tonkin was used to get us into another war too. That was a big one, guys. Go research Gulf of Tonkin incident. You will be surprised. That was a big one.
You want to tell us a little bit about
I
it?
mean, I
or-
don't know much except the fact that one of our now considered best allies attacked one of our warships and got us into another war. Gulf of Tonkin incident. That was crazy.
Well, I mean, in essence, every single war that we've gone into, there has been something involved where it's quote unquote considered a conspiracy theory. I mean, you go back to the Iraq war. Why were we in Iraq? What were we looking for?
Well, we're looking for weapons of mass destruction, but 9/11 kicked off that campaign.
Yeah, and we left Iraq not finding weapons of mass destruction and leaving Baghdad a mass destruction.
Baghdad, there's like 7 countries.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Middle East, we turned it into ruins and we left. Baghdad used to be a beautiful tourist city.
Yeah. Well,
People would go on vacation in Baghdad.
So Vietnam War, Gulf of Tonkin incident got us into Vietnam War. We had mass casualties in the Vietnam War. We have veterans today that still have trauma from Vietnam War. Yeah. And the Gulf of Tonkin was the catalyst, to say.
It's funny, a majority of the times that we've been in war, it's always been a Democratic president, except for the Bush administration, which, again, I don't even want to
they're Democratic.
Again, I don't even want to get into that family, but that's a different story on its own. But on June 6th of this year, our current president, Joe Biden, and Dr. Jill Biden attended a ceremony in Normandy, France.
Would you let her give you a physical?
Would I let Jill Biden give me a physical?
You said Dr.
Or Dr. Jill Biden. Well, listen, if you're going to have a heart attack and Jill Biden's there, you still got to call 911.
Okay. All right.
So I'll put it, that's the type of doctor she is.
Okay. So you wouldn't let her give you a physical?
No. No, I
I
wouldn't.
just want to clarify.
Maybe 50 years ago.
What kind of question is that?
50 years ago, Jill was giving physicals to those 2 boys.
Well, question. I want to see what Jill Biden looked like 50 years ago. Then I'll answer your question. But we're going to play, Joe, can we play that clip really quickly? We're going to play a clip from June 6th of this year of President Joe Biden at Normandy with his wife and the president of France and his husband.
You went there?
You went there, huh?
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin. Distinguished guests, please welcome
Look at him.
the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin III.
All right, so there's a couple of things going on here. The
Did you guys see at the end that blonde running? What was she running after?
that I don't know. I didn't even notice that one. But very quickly, let's.
He's Joe's diaper inspector.
She.
She's Joe's diaper inspector, I think.
Okay, so the first thing that we saw was Joe Biden reaching for a
Chair.
Was he reaching for a chair?
Yeah, it looked like he was reaching for a chair.
Okay. You saw Jill Biden covering her mouth. What do you guys think she was saying?
Get it together, asshole.
There's no chair here, Joe.
Or don't sit down, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't sit
Please
down,
don't
Joe.
sit.
Please don't sit.
Because Alex Jones had a recent post about how some top secret or high ranked New York police officer told him how Biden travels with a suitcase full of injectables and pills and all these different medications.
Really?
Where supposedly that's what sometimes when you see him active and he's angry, just like when he had the speech during the
State of the
Union, that's pretty much when he's been injected with a lot of uppers, Adderalls, or I'm sure they have,
Maybe better than
something
Adderall.
stronger than that. Yeah.
Is that why he goes MIA for like weeks at a time after?
Yeah, because then he has to recover from all that and he's on vacation. And I think they maybe even use old pictures from him laying down on the beach in the media just to cover it up.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Trump, during his last tweet, which was about, I'd say give or take maybe 2 weeks ago, he said that he wants a drug test prior to the debate and even after the debate.
I think for sure he needs to get one, because that's no different than you getting into the UFC cage and octagon, and the guy is on steroids.
Can I interject
and,
here?
Of course.
With Biden being the president today, so this debate that we're about to see, Biden is pretty much in charge of how the rules go. So you're going to see a debate where Trump's mic will be turned off when Biden is babbling. So this is not going to be a regular debate where both sides are going to have it the time to go at it. No,
Right.
This is going to be a very controlled debate, and all the control is in Joe Biden's hand because he's the president today. And the difference is, so when Trump was president, everyone on the left said he's not my president.
Correct.
But here, with Joe Biden being the president, we all say Joe Biden is the president.
Our president.
Our president. He
Yes.
is.
Unfortunately, but he is.
Yeah, on a world platform, it is kind of sad. But
Well, Levy says it's going to be a BS debate. We don't know. Well, I mean, only time can tell. It's going to be an interesting conversation. It's going to be an interesting debate back and forth between former President Donald J. Trump, number 45, current President Joe Biden. It's like a grudge match at this point.
I with all the rules in place, I think Trump just wants to have a debate regardless, because look, if he says, no, I don't want to participate in the debate because of all the rules you guys have in place, they're going to say, well, see, he doesn't want to debate Joe Biden. I thought Joe Biden was senile. Why doesn't he want to debate him?
most definitely.
But by him agreeing to it, he's pretty much obviously stepping up to the plate, but he has to play by their rules.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I still don't seem to understand is, why are there two sets of rules? I don't get it. Everything from his conviction to potentially the upcoming sentencing, it just seems like it's the left seems to have complete control over the Department of Justice, right? The DOJ, all the attorney generals, majority of the judge, all these guys are in their pockets, whereas the Republicans can't put anything together. I mean,
They're losers.
We've got a case against Hunter Biden, and with all the crap he's got, I mean, if you pull up his laptop, there's enough information in there to put his whole family and the whole Democratic Party in prison for the next 200 years. But yet, if he's convicted, the conviction will probably be because he stole gum from a convenience store in 2017.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything relative to all the corruption that he's been conducting over the last, even during the vice presidency of Joe Biden. That's when it all started.
But Trump's charges are basically about not filing not categorizing his filings the proper way.
It's
Is that what it is?
fraudulent business expenses and filings and stuff like that. Basically.
Okay, let's go. We had a president, Bill Clinton, did much worse while he was in the Oval Office.
Correct.
And he paid off $840,000 or so. But see, the dollar amount doesn't matter. What matters to them, and people, I don't know how many people know this, but the Congress actually has a hush money fund where
It's not illegal.
They've paid over $17 million in just settlements, just to for sexual harassment cases and all that other jazz.
But it's part of the law. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, but see, because I was listening to Alan Dershowitz is a respected constitutional attorney.
Depends who's respecting him.
No. Well, look,
As a human being, not a respectable human
we're
being.
talking about a constitutional attorney.
Yeah.
He's an authority in that area, right?
Definitely.
Harvard professor. The guy's 85 years old. He's been a legal scholar for over 60 years now. And even listening to his podcast, him talking about this conviction, how it's all BS. But he's like, even since I started talking against these convictions, meaning how it's not going to stick, there's no merit to it, he's like, my family and us, we're not welcome in a lot of places like Martha's Vineyard, some of the social gatherings we used to attend. He's like, we're not welcome anymore because of the fact that I am not supporting all these bullshit, convictions and these bullshit claims against former President Donald Trump. So that's how they pressure these people into falling in line is, well, okay, if you don't want to, dance to our tune, you're not allowed to be present at any of our gatherings anymore.
You're not invited.
Yeah, basically.
Remember what I said a couple weeks ago, where I said eventually the Democratic Party will implode on itself, because now you have a divide in the divide. The Democratic Party did a phenomenal job completely dividing the country, starting with COVID, and then this entire alphabet movement, and then the BLM movement. All this division. Now, what you have is the Democratic Party somewhat imploding on itself with what's going on in Israel. You have a party that is pro LGBTQ and BLM and all this stuff, which is anti-Israel. But at the same time, you had the Democratic Party, who had a lot of Jewish supporters who would use the anti-Semitic card. Now it's like, all right, so are you anti-Semitic, or are you pro-BLM, or are you pro-LGBTQ? And it's literally watching a really bad car accident take place. And mark my words, I said it weeks ago, and I'm saying it today as well. It's gonna implode on itself. It will implode on itself. And a lot of America is waking up, and they're realizing that this was all a political scheme to divide the country. And not only has the cost of living gone up, but everything in America has become expensive to the point where it's practically impossible to live in certain states. Look what's happening in California. How many people have been leaving the state because it's so expensive? Moving to red states, moving to the Midwest, moving to the moving to the East Coast. It's become ridiculous.
You mean Southeast?
Southeast.
Okay.
Southeast. Places like Tennessee,
Florida.
all those places where you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. You can work, you can enjoy life, and you're not working to survive. I mean, look what's happening with the real estate market, man. I mean, some of these payments that we're seeing, I look at it and I go, oh my God, like, how much money do you need to make in order to just pay your mortgage?
What numbers are you looking at today? Like, I'm not in the market to buy a house, but someone trying to buy a house, what kind of payments are these people
Let me put it
making?
to you this way, and you guys could calculate it yourselves. It used to be for every $100,000, it would be anywhere from $400 to $500. I'm sorry, I said that incorrectly. For every $100,000, it would be anywhere from $400 to $500 on your payment for your loan. So if you had a $200,000 loan, it would be anywhere from $8,000 to $1,000 on your payment. Now it's
That's
like
interest.
yeah, PI.
Okay.
Now it's anywhere from like $750 to $800
Per 100,000.
per 100,000.
So some of these people that are financing $800,000, because where we live in LA, and let's be specific, Glendale, you're not finding anything under $1 million, correct?
You're not.
No,
You're not.
No.
Let's say someone's buying $1 million house. They have to come up with 20% down. Let's say they're financing $800,000.
Correct.
So what you're telling me, $800,000, their payment, just the interest portion, is $4,000.
No, your principal interest.
Principal interest. Okay, is that
On 800, it's not 4,000.
No, it's
No,
not
it's not.
4,000.
It's more than
You're
It's
talking
more than
about
that.
almost 6,500 or so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And that's not including your property tax. That's not including
insurance.
your insurance, your bills, your car payments, your cell phone bills, your cost of living.
So just your house with your bills is about $8,000 now.
Give or take.
Remember a couple episodes ago, I was sharing some statistics where in 1960, for example, right? The average income, let's say household income was $6,000 a year. The average cost of a home was $12,000. So 2x your income.
Oh, that's
Now-
doable, man.
Now it's 7x. Wow. 7x, which means if you're making $80,000 a year, right? 7 times 80 is 560,000. But that's on a national scale. When we look at some of the, like the Burbanks, Glendales of the world, some parts of Florida, Texas, New York, Arizona, all these other, especially coastal states, right? It's not even 7x. You're talking about
10x.
20x. 20x up it. I mean, you're making 150 grand a year. There's a lot of places where homes are $2.5, $3 million now.
That's ridiculous, bro.
I mean, back in the days, $1 million was
Money.
you're a millionaire. You have $1 million. Now, $1 million in your bank account is like you probably have $5 million in debt. You're barely making ends meet, and if shit hits the fan, you've got maybe 3 months to survive.
Well, I mean, when looking at people that make more money today, I realized that just to not pay dramatic taxes, some of these guys are going in buying things that they really don't need just because they have to get
Like
out
what?
from, cars that they use for weekend purposes, or an extra home, vacation home, but they're just doing that because if they don't, Uncle Sam's going to take that money.
Yeah, but you're not really saving money on your taxes. Even if, let's say, for example, you're at a 50% tax bracket in California, which includes your 13% state and all that, right? 50%.
Really, bro?
So let's assume that for easy math. If you buy, which a lot of these guys you see driving these Porsches, which are now, minimum 200,000. If you buy a Porsche for $200,000 at a 50% tax bracket, and if you're able to write off 100% of that purchase, you essentially saved 100,000. You did not save 200,000, because if you had reported that 200,000 as income, you were going to pay 100,000 in taxes, right? 50%.
Yeah.
Now that you made a purchase, it's an expense in your taxes. You reduced your income by 200,000, which means you essentially only saved 100,000. You're still paying 100,000 out of your pocket to drive that car. It's not free.
No. But
Anybody
I
that
understand.
thinks it's free,
not
it's
that
not
it's free, but it makes sense why they're doing it.
No, real estate is the only purchase that makes sense when it comes to tax
I
write-offs.
can't believe I just heard that from you. Arno, you wanna?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Guys, just so you know, I'm putting up a poll on YouTube in regards to, can you afford your house if you had to purchase it today? I want to put that poll up real quick for the viewers.
Oh, there's actually a stat on it. I don't know if I spoke about it. Was it last week or the week before I spoke about it? Where, again, I don't remember exactly what the numbers were, but it was ridiculous. It was like 70 to 80% of people who purchased a house 10 years ago can't afford their own home.
Oh, how could they?
I'm one of those people. I'll be honest. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I can't afford buying my own house today.
Which is
It's
why
impossible.
which is why we're having an issue with the supply and demand, which is what's saving the market right now. Or else, bro, you think in today's economy the market would survive? There's no way it would survive. The supply and demand is what's saving the market. So when we go prospecting and we're speaking to homeowners, and whether it's door knocking or cold calling, and we talk to them, we ask them, are you interested in, the neighbor's house just sold? It sold for X amount of dollars, which, they're beyond ecstatic for, because you're looking at six figures. We ask them, what about you? Have you thought about possibly taking advantage of the market? Majority of them say, okay, if I do sell, where am I going to go? What is going to be equivalent to what I have today? My payment is low. And the ones that refinanced in the low interest rates, forget about it. That is generational wealth forever.
You're describing my case right now. I can't. Like, at the interest rate I'm locked in, I won't touch it. At 2.85, I'm not moving, bro.
There's no point of you moving.
Think
That's
about
generational
it.
wealth.
Now,
That's what it's called.
If someone makes me even a crazy offer, it doesn't matter, because I have to take that money and put it somewhere else at a higher interest rate. I won't do it.
Yeah, none of it makes sense, and I don't even know what's going to fix this issue, because supply is not going to increase, at least not anytime soon. I think the only way this is going to fix is if people just kind of pretty much almost have to come together and decide, you know what, we're not buying any more homes. Let the market kind of
crash itself.
Could settle itself
No
down.
way it's gonna happen.
It won't.
There's no way it's gonna happen. And look, let's say there is a change in presidency. Let's say in November we do have a change in presidency. The 10-year Treasury, the Federal Reserve, everything, the money market, all of it changes, and the interest rates start to completely drop again. The interest rates go into, I'm not even gonna say twos. Let's say the interest rates drop into the fours. Fours, 4.5s, fives. What do you think is gonna happen?
Prices are
Going to go up, obviously.
which is that okay? So that's the thing. How does this? Then home ownership is no longer feasible.
Look, this was a recipe for disaster when they started printing money. When they started printing more money, the value of the dollar
So where did that
diminished.
money go? Where did that money go?
Where did the money go?
It went to the rich people. That same money that was printed and handed to the poor, let's just
Always
say,
goes up. Yeah.
and it always trickles up, man.
Look at the top 15 billionaires are worth over $2 trillion. Because all the money that was printed went to these guys: Amazon, Walmart,
Tesla.
Google, Tesla, Facebook. It all went to these guys.
Remember, during the pandemic, there was times like to buy a Tesla, your down payment was like 8-10 grand. Your payments were over 1,000. Now they're, dude, Model 3s. You're looking at 2,000 down, $300 a month. Toyota has a full electric for 2,000 down, 210 a month.
Yeah,
And
but
this is a small crossover.
yes, but now California wants to start charging 30 cents a mile for electrical vehicle drivers.
I wonder why.
No, that's for every driver.
No, it's
No,
for
no,
EV
that's for
drivers.
electric cars?
Because they realized, oh shit, we're losing a lot of money in gas taxes.
Yeah,
Maybe we need to start taxing the EV drivers now.
that's crazy, man.
They gotta make up for it somehow. They have to make up for it somehow. And look, the rental market in itself is not helping the real estate market either, because rental prices are going up. And the fact that the landlords have to raise the rental prices because of these interest rates, it doesn't help the poor tenants.
Yeah,
See, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, or the plandemic hit in March, there was so much misinformation put out online where people were saying, oh, you don't have to make your payments for the next 90 days or 6 months or whatever it was. But it's like, bro, read the fine print.
You're gonna end up paying for it no matter
You're
what.
going to end up paying for it. Nothing in this life is free.
Do you think when the baby boomers start downsizing, because baby boomers own majority of the homes in the United States.
Correct.
When they start downsizing, do you think that's going to shift the market a little bit?
Look, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Look, I wish I knew the answer to
If you
things
knew
like
the
this.
answers, you would have moved.
I'll
today
I'll tell you
accordingly.
why I'll say no. Because what's also different between now and 2008, 2007 is, yes, that was a mortgage industry that collapsed, which caused the house prices to completely, drop. But now part of the issue is, even if, say, 8, 10, 15, 20 million baby boomers decide to downsize, majority of those homes will be purchased by the BlackRocks and the Vanguards and the Chinas of the world.
Yeah.
That's the issue, because as of now, over a third of the homes are being purchased by these multi-trillion-dollar hedge funds. They're controlling the market
Why are they buying it?
because they're buying it even if it's at a premium. They're going to keep it. They'll rent it out. They're building their portfolio. They're going to borrow more money against it.
Okay,
It's-
that makes sense.
Well, not only that, look what's been happening since, and I don't want to go too far back. I don't want to go back to 2007 when the market collapsed. I want to go back 4 years. Between 2020 and today, what's been happening with the real estate market? It's been going up. It's like buying gold or buying silver and watching your value of it appreciate. And they know that it's going to appreciate because of the supply and demand. That's why when I tell people, I said, look, if you can afford your payment, buy it. Don't worry about it crashing. Because if it does crash, you're going to ride that wave and it's going to eventually go back up, because it's always been a roller coaster ride. And when it dips and it goes back up, it always goes up higher than what the last peak was.
What's a crash? I mean, even right now, let's say between 2020 and now, if we compare prices, right? A home that was worth $1 million in 2020 is worth 1.7,
Easily.
1.8. So say,
And then
Say
don't
the
forget
pri-
the interest at the same
well,
time.
let's
bro.
Forget about the
put the
interest.
interest aside. Let's say prices go down by 20%. That's huge, right? Oh yeah, 1.8 now went down 20%. That's 360,000. So the 1.8 is now 1.44.
Yeah.
It's still 440,000 higher than the $1 million price in 2020. So you're still 44% higher than what it was. So it's not a crash. It's an adjustment. It's not even a crash if that happens. That's why I think home ownership is no longer a
Feasible.
priority. I don't think the new generation is going to think about, the American dream is to become a homeowner. It's not. I think the American dream has to be, I need to make enough money to have control over my time and to create some passive income so that eventually I can.
Buy a house.
No, forget it. That's the thing. Forget about buying a house. You can't. You can't.
Let me put it to you this way. The American dream back in the 1950s, which is when kind of that saying came about, was the husband, the wife, the kids, the white picket fence, the paid off home, or, the dad working, mom being a homemaker, and then dad working for, 30 years, retiring, house is now paid off, the kids leave, now you got an empty nest, you and the wife kind of sail off into the sunset. That was the American dream.
Yeah.
They've now taken the woman out of the home, so now you got the man and the wife competing.
Two taxpayers in a household.
You have
now.
two taxpayers. You have this competition between men and women now.
No one raising the kids the way it used to be.
You have the schools raising your children. And the last thing basically on the menu, which was dessert, was home ownership, which is basically what the government is devouring at this point. That's the last thing they're about to eat. And going back to what Armand was saying about BlackRock and China and all these massive corporations, those are the people who are eating it. And it goes back to the great George Carlin, which was a video you posted a couple days ago.
And I wish that guy was
George Carlin was way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his
30,
time.
40 years ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And he said it. He said it himself. He said, you have owners, and the owners aren't the politicians. The owners own the politicians. They got them actually in their back pocket. And they control the media. They control all the major news outlets.
schools.
Everything. And at the time, the internet wasn't, when George Carlin was around, that skit that was that he did, the internet wasn't as big. It was around, but it wasn't as big. Could you imagine George Carlin living in today's society and seeing what's actually going on?
He'd be canceled in 25 minutes.
If he wasn't dead, they'd probably kill him.
He wouldn't be canceled. He would be offed.
Yeah, he's because look, speaking of China, right? Trump had an interview with Dr. Phil recently, and Dr. Phil was pointing out all the farmlands in the United States that are owned by China now. I mean, why are we allowing China to buy farmland? Do we not have enough money here for our own people to buy those farmlands? Why is China buying so much farmland in the United States? Why are we allowing that? Would China allow for the United States to go purchase their farmlands?
No,
over
you
there?
can't, because it's commie China.
It's like we've pretty much just opened the gates from everything from immigration to our land to real estate. Just come on in.
Well, wait. Going to immigration, which is another topic that we could discuss.
But don't go into immigration yet.
No. I just want to say, Armand saying that we've opened up our borders. Technically speaking, now Joe Biden and the Democratic Party have now said that, whoa, maybe the right was correct about what's going on. Maybe this open border shit wasn't what it all kind of turned out to be. Bro, you have 1.8 million people annually flooding into the United States illegally.
That's
How
not
do
even
we-
an accurate
How
number.
do we even know that?
That's
number?
not an accurate number.
That's
That's a
exactly.
guess.
That is a fucking guesstimate, bro.
all it is.
1.8
It's not like a
million
UFC
people.
pay-per-view.
We should go to our poll, guys. We have a
Sorry,
completed
guys.
poll.
I'm just gonna. There's a YouTube poll that's completed. 81% said no, they couldn't afford their house if they had to buy it at today's price. So
Let me go back to the whole China thing. Now, China. So we have a lot of military bases in America today that our citizens don't know about. But all those secret military bases that we own are close to farmlands, and majority of them, China owns the farmlands less than a mile away.
Yes.
Is that an accident?
Of course not. They're monitoring our military.
I see. I don't want to believe it. That's
But
the
it's
problem.
the truth.
I know, but again, when you look at it, you go military base. Like, look, the closest military airspace that we have is the one in Palmdale, right? To us.
Yeah, air-wise, yeah.
Yeah, and Palmdale is technically a very rural area. You need the space for it. So I mean, I don't want to
There's
believe
no
it.
farmland in there, bro.
No, I know there's
That's
a
a
farm, but
desert.
it's a rural area. That's what I mean. That's why I said
Yeah.
rural area. But I don't want to believe it because I don't think we're that naive and that stupid. But for the past 3 years, we've actually shown how stupid and naive we actually really are.
Have
See,
you-
the thing is, you said we.
Have you
but
checked what's going on within our government? What do you mean?
Yeah, I know.
We're not that. Of course, we're
I know.
that.
I know. When you see the
It,
president,
it's not. It has nothing to do with naiveness. It has to do with an agenda. It has to do with a plan that they're pretty much implementing. It's not naiveness. Of course, we're not naive.
See, if
It's
you
all
think-
deliberate.
Yeah, deliberate in the way that if the government tries to use our own military against our people, it's not going to work because our military is full of our brothers and sisters. They're Americans. But when you have military bases surrounded by lands owned by China who could be housing military from out of the country, and those guys, the people that are coming in illegally, majority of those people are fighting age men.
yeah.
That's where it gets scary, guys.
Well, here's the thing. This is kind of trickling into our next topic because the United States is known as one of the most richest, most powerful countries in the world.
Wanna or
If
the
not
most?
the most richest and most powerful country in the world. At the end of the day, we've said it before in the past. Ed, you said it last week as well. I still consider, I think Armwood could piggyback on this as well. We are the greatest country in the world to live in.
100%.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you agree. You agree today. This week you agree. Because last
never
week you
No,
said
no. Today is not, America is not the greatest country in the world. To live in, it is. But America is not the greatest country in the world.
hold
It's
on.
In
not.
what sense?
In what sense? Yeah.
Because those rights that made America the best place to live are not in your hands anymore.
Like
That's
which one?
where it is.
Which right?
Bro, let's start with school. Let's start with the
Okay.
schooling. Our education level compared to what I think we rate 58 in the world in education.
Were we
How are
ever
we-
in the top 10?
I don't know about top 10, but we're
We've-
much higher.
Hold on, Joe, can
We're
you
much higher.
Joe, can you pull up top 10 universities in the world?
It's still going to be probably at least half, if not more, is going to be U.S. Ivy League schools.
Well, that you just said education
That,
is.
that does not mean.
Are you talking about on the grade school level?
Of course.
Well, again, the beauty of this country is if the grade school that your children are attending doesn't meet your expectations,
go private.
not go private, go to a different school. Move to a
He-
different area. Again, this is an uncomfortable conversation for us because we're not used to packing up because we want to be close to our Armenian brothers and sisters or being in a area where you feel like as a minority, you know what? I don't feel like it feels like home to me.
What if 10 years later that's going to change? What are you going to do then?
Well, 10 years later when we cross that bridge, we can have that conversation.
Just look at
But
what's
for-
happening to Glendale in the last 5 years.
Let
Am
me
I
add-
wrong?
You're absolutely right. But whose fault is that?
What do you mean?
Whose
You have
fault-
no control in that.
What about in Santa Clarita?
What about Santa Clara?
Santa Clarita, what's going on over there?
Houses and buildings, like,
Forget the houses and buildings. I'm talking about the schools.
what about their schools? I don't know much
Fairly
about Santa
fairly
Clarita
conservative. Glendora, fairly conservative. Look, it all depends on your school board.
Arno, did you want the top 10 universities? Or?
Yeah. Give me the first 5.
So yeah, let me give you Stanford University, Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology,
MIT.
U.S.
California Institute of Technology,
U.S.
Princeton University,
U.S.
Yale University, the University of Chicago,
Ooh.
University of California, Berkeley, damn liberals.
Where does Oxford fit in there?
In the 30s.
I'm surprised they're not in the top 10.
Oxford, I gotta look it up.
Okay, so it's not even there.
So let me ask you guys this. Which one of those top 10 schools would you send your own kids? Let's say your kids were college. Like if my daughters were college level today, I wouldn't send them to Yale.
Why
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
you?
send them to Yale.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't send them free to Yale.
Because you're concerned about the indoctrination.
Of course.
But
I don't,
hold on.
Have you guys seen what's going on at Yale, bro?
Hold on, wait.
You
but
want
who's-
your daughter to go there?
Hold on. In order for you to raise a good child in today's society, you have to instill and you have to basically raise your child with certain morals, values, and principles. If your kid is, by the time your kid is 18, 19 years old and they're ready to basically go to university, their mind is already made up as far as where they're leaning towards as far as politically. Yes or no?
You're not there yet, Arno. Let me ask you this much. If you go talk to people that have their kids just graduated from university, they will tell you that the person that they gave to the university created an enemy for them and they paid for that shit.
But you gotta have.
I'm telling you this,
but
bro.
You got, hold on.
It's not,
I blame the parents though. You
No,
have
no,
to
no,
have.
no,
you-
don't-
yes,
this
you have to have.
person works so hard to give their
What is
child
their
an
relationship
education.
with their child?
No, that's what I'm telling you. They had a great relationship with the child going into that university. Now that university created an enemy for them.
So hold on, wait. How many years was the kid there? 4 years?
2 years, 2 to 2,
Call
3,
it.
4.
Let's call it 2
3, 4.
years. In the 2 years, I'm not even going 4 years. In the 2 years that the child was at that university, what was communication like with the parent?
I'm not trying to.
If
tell
you're
you
if you're gonna send your kid off to school and just be like, all right, here's some money.
No, it's not lack of communication.
yeah.
I don't know. I think
not what
I
it
think
is,
the
bro.
issue here, what it boils down to is, and I know what it's talking about. There's a lot of stats on that too, and there's a lot of conversation about how you're pretty much paying a university to brainwash your kids and come back as your enemy. That's true.
it's sad.
But where I think those parents failed, there has to be a reason. In order for a child, a young adult, let's say 18 or 20-year-old, to move out of the house, go to a liberal school like a Berkeley, Yale, Harvard,
Yeah.
and come back your enemy, there has to be a breakdown somewhere, which means somehow that young adult, your child, decided to rebel against everything you stand for. And why? Why did that happen?
Majority of those kids will do so just to fit in with that crowd that they just joined.
No, they
No,
won't.
they will. They will up it because
Not
there's
maj-
95% of them. They will be the oddball.
Okay, so
now,
here's what I propose. If there are parents out there who have had this experience firsthand, where they've sent their kids off to one of these universities and their kids have come back thinking their parents are their enemies, let's have a sit down with them. And
That'd be awesome.
I can assure you, I will assure you, there was a breakdown somewhere as far as that child decided to rebel against their parents for something, whether it was because they were pressured into, academic excellence, whether they were pressured. There has to be somewhere where the kid was like, you know, I'm fucking done with this, but I'm going to do it just for my parents. But then I'm going to prove them that I'm independent. I'm going to come back as completely something different.
Does that
Someone
not does that
different.
not go back to what I was just talking about as far as communication with your child?
What you were saying is more so how often do you talk to your kid when they're out?
Not only that, bro, having a conversation with your kid prior to them even going to you. Listen,
No, it's not a conversation thing. I don't know. That's not what I'm saying.
Wait, if you're gonna pressure your kid to go to a Ivy League school, a Brown, a Yale, something like that, and you're gonna put all this pressure on them.
you think you're gonna pressure? If your kid is able to get into these Ivy League schools, you're not pressuring your kid. I
Are you?
promise you.
I'm not saying I'm pressuring. I'm saying that would you not agree that there are parents that have certain expectations with their children?
Majority of immigrant parents have that.
So then,
Majority.
So does that not cause some sort of animosity towards their mom or their dad, saying that, you know what, my mom put so much pressure, my dad put so much pressure, they didn't let me do this, they didn't let me do that. Finally, I'm free, I could do this. That all that boils down into this atomic bomb that's ready to explode. And when that atomic bomb explodes, what do you think your child is gonna do? They're gonna rebel. Of course they are. But if you give your child choices and guide them through the process, listen, I don't want to put too much pressure on you to go to Yale or a Brown or a this. Don't stop competing with the Joneses.
See, like I was at, Saturday we were at Noah's kindergarten graduation, right? I think there was combined between the two kindergarten classes about, I want to say maybe 45, 50 kids. And when they were calling their names to receive their
Awards.
award, diploma, whatever it's called, they were also announcing what that child wants to be when they grow up. It was interesting.
Wow.
Like I heard engineer, doctor, astronaut, artist, singer, my son was a judge. He wants to be a judge.
Wow.
He's gonna put your ass in jail first.
But it's a matter of, look, because as parents we have to think about it. Even when we put our kids into sports, right? A lot of parents are trying to live vicariously through their kids. They put them in sports. They pressure them into excelling when that kid maybe doesn't like that particular sport, or they may not be good at it. They're not developing as fast as they need to. But at the end of the day, as parents, we need to take a step back, I think, and think about what do we want out of our kids?
Yeah.
What do we want them to be, the 5.0 GPA is going to give us the satisfaction and we're going to feel like we did good as parents?
No.
Is it them growing up to be good people, responsible people? Is it about the relationships they built? Is it them understanding love and respect? These are all things we need to break down and understand. What do we want out of our kids?
Yeah.
It's easy to say, I want my kid to be a doctor. I want my kid to be a lawyer.
I don't want my
For
kids
what?
to be doctors. Maybe lawyer. If my kid wants to be a lawyer, I will support that. But I've seen, doctors, there's doctors that have their own practice. Those guys are okay, I respect it. But the ER doctor, a doctor that works for a hospital system, to me, that's not a life.
Well, wait.
It's
That's
good
hold on,
money.
That's to
It's
you.
according to you.
That's to you.
According to me. And I wouldn't want that for my kid.
Okay, wait. See,
I would suggest
Ed,
against that for my
you
kid.
can't see that's the problem right there. Because
Why?
Because you are basically what you're saying. I don't want that for my child. Maybe your child does want to be a doctor. Like, for example, my niece. My niece wants to or wanted to. I don't know yet because she hasn't told me.
Yeah.
But she said she wants to be a doctor. I said, okay, what do you want to specialize in? Because obviously, when you're a doctor, there's a broad range of things that you can
You
practice.
can do general practice, or you could.
So she said she wants to be a pediatrician. Okay. You know what? What's one of the first things I said to her? I said, this is what I want you to do. I said, in the summertime, I want you to go volunteer at a hospital, whether it's in the NICU
shadow a doctor.
or labor and delivery. And I want you to volunteer to get us realization as to what it's like to be in that environment
you're going to work in. You want to
because
see it.
I asked her, I said, why do you want to be a pediatrician? She goes, because I love kids. I said, I love kids too. I love children. I love you. You're my niece. I can't believe
Is
you're.
that why you wanted to be a gynecologist?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. We had a conversation off off the air actually. Not going to mention what exactly we said, but
I'll
anyways,
mention it if you-
but anyways, I said the fact that you love children and you want to be a pediatrician, there are good and bad things that come with that. Because if you love children and seeing the birth of a child or whatever it is, there are children that also get sick as well. And again, God forbid, I don't wish this upon anybody, but there are children that lose their lives at a very young age as well. So go to the children's hospital and volunteer there and feel it on your skin a little bit. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean this as a sincere uncle, because I want her to experience that. Because it's look, life throws curveballs at you, and the last thing I would want for her is to basically go spend 8-10 years becoming a pediatrician and then hating her job, like majority of kids do nowadays. They'll finish pharmacy school, they'll finish engineering, architecture, whatever it is, and they'll turn around and go, shit, this is not what I wanted to do for a living.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's what you gotta do.
I like the fact that what you said about like take the summer, maybe at the age of 14, kids need to experience like shadowing different professions.
Absolutely.
Shadowing different professionals. Now, my daughter is into the arts. She's looking into fashion design. She's looking into architecture. She likes it. She's an artistic person. I told her I wouldn't mind her going to volunteer. Summers, 1 month, like shadow a architect. Another month, shadow a fashion designer. Go visit a fashion school. See how that works out. See it for yourself before you spend that money. Because some of these schools, these Harvards, these Yales, they're not cheap, guys. They're not cheap. And see, the school system does not teach our kids about the paying back of your student loans. Student loans go to the grave with you. That's how terrible they are. And if an 18-year-old walks into the bank and says, I want 20 grand just to open a business, you get a middle finger for that.
Forget about it.
But if you go to at 18 years old, you ask for a student loan of $200,000-$300,000, it's handed to you.
That's one of the main problems. Is I don't think school should be anywhere near as expensive, or you shouldn't even have to pay. Why?
Sorry, socialist.
No, because look, the budget we have in the United States,
Should pay for it. Yeah.
why should kids have to spend $200,000-$500,000 on an education? It's not even
see,
that.
You know what that does, though, right?
But
It
look,
handcuffs them, brother.
no, but it's not even that anymore. Here's the problem now. The issue now is you want your kid to go to one of those top schools. You got to start them young. At the second grade, you're putting them into private school, paying 30, 40 grand a year. So now you're paying about 9-10 years, 30,000 a year. That's 300,000 the parents have paid for. Now you're going to Yale and you get another 400 or 500. I mean, the kids end up costing you $700-800 million.
Kids cost you way more than $1 million.
No, I'm not.
Especially today.
I'm not
You're
talking about
education.
I'm talking about strictly education.
Which is bad, bro.
But we have the budget where, for minimal cost, these kids should be able to go to school, get the education they need and they want, and be able to succeed in life.
Yeah, but how is Big Brother going to get rich?
I don't know the statistics on nurses every year being qualified to be a nurse. I don't know the statistics, but I promise you, in the 50s and 60s, we were pumping out more nurses than we could today.
Oh, the demand for nurses is as high as it was back in the 50s and 60s.
Of course it
man.
is, but we were pumping them out a lot faster.
No, I get it. Yeah,
because the schools weren't. See, let's just go with the nurse. For example, a nurse has to get a $300,000-$400,000 loan to become a nurse today.
No,
$200,000.
About
Rough 400,000.
a little bit less than that even.
Let's say that-
a private school to get your RN
Yeah.
is about 140 to 180.
180. Okay, 140, 150. Let's go with that number.
Call it 200.
Okay. At $200,000, this person becomes a nurse.
Yes.
Like you said, 6 months into it, doesn't want to be nursing anymore. Has a traumatic experience with a, God forbid, a nine-day-old passing in the unit. Whatnot. This person doesn't like going to work anymore after spending $150,000 and 6 years on education. The passion is to become a comedian. What happens at that time? That $150,000 is there.
Well, wait.
Now interest comes into
No,
play.
I get it. But the passion to become a comedian, I get it. Who's gonna paying your bills? Look, there's
That's what I'm telling you.
choices.
Now that person's stuck.
No, I get it. they're
Going to
stuck.
work every day as
They're
a
not
nurse.
stuck. I'll tell you why they're not stuck. Because if you're a nurse, you don't like to deal with you 9-day-old babies.
Don't be in that unit.
Go work at a laser clinic,
Yeah.
Yeah.
med spa.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's so many options. You don't have to be stuck in one area of nursing or medicine or whatnot. But
Still crazy to pay $150,000 for.
no,
a
of,
nursing
of course it's crazy. It shouldn't be, and that's why I think a lot of kids should consider going into the military and using that as an opportunity to get free education.
Yeah.
Why not go to nursing school in the military
Yeah.
or anything, engineering, whatever you want to study?
Lottery system at a community college. Take your chances. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But look, this was kind of we were jumping into America being the greatest country in the world. We jumped into the schooling system, which is something we hadn't talked about in a while. But look, at the end of the day, the military, the opportunity, and a lot of other things that come into the United States of America are there, which is why we were saying that it is considered the greatest country in the world. Now, just south of us in South America, there is a country that was a very
It was the
dangerous.
most dangerous country in
It
the
was
world.
the most dangerous country in the world. It was
Murder
probably,
capital of the
Yeah.
world, bro.
It was one of the most poorest countries in the world. And in a matter of 3 years, a lot changed in that country.
year and a half.
Well, a year and a half. Year and a half was the dramatic change.
Yeah.
Year and a half was the big dramatic
Last
change.
year and a half, we've been seeing the fruits of that.
Correct. But
Change.
from a 3 year span, it started kind of flourishing,
Yeah.
if you were to say. So a gentleman, a 42-year-old gentleman, and I don't know if I hope I don't butcher this guy's name, the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele.
Yeah.
Nayib Bukele, 42 years old, part of the Nuevas Ideas Party. In a country
Does that mean new ideas?
new ideas, correct.
Which means they're not left or right.
Correct. Very centered.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Very
Third
centered.
party, huh?
Look at that. Third party, huh?
Yeah. Very
You
centered.
boys said it doesn't work.
No. We didn't say it, Ed. You
You
twist the
did.
word. No.
But you guys both said it doesn't
We-
work.
No.
We said it's impossible in the United
Yeah.
States. We did not say it doesn't work. We said it's
But
impossible
it's
in the
not
United States.
impossible in the United
Okay.
States.
Well,
That's only thing that's going to save this country.
we'll wait and see.
Okay, well, look, we don't want to jump into the United States yet.
All right, let's go to El Salvador.
Now, this was something that I found out today, which was fascinating, actually. So the currency of El Salvador in 2001
CEO.
changed to the United States dollar in 2001. And in 2022, guess what it changed to? Bitcoin. So it uses Bitcoin and the US currency, which was fascinating to me. A country of that caliber, as far as, that.
What if the people who run the cryptocurrency also run the US dollar? So it's pretty much the same owner both sides.
Well, look, I haven't lived in South America. I don't know how the
Transition from one to the other.
yeah,
works?
and see, the one thing I don't understand is how the United States currency was being implemented there. Because look, I mean, obviously the cost of living there is much cheaper. Like I've been to South America on vacation. I've been to Dominican. I've been to Mexico, and when they see United States currency, they'd rather take that than the currency that they have. Like for example, in Mexico, the peso.
Yeah.
So
Well, correction. Peso now the dollar is actually a lot weaker. Last time we were there, it was 22 to $1. 22 pesos to $1. Now it's
11, 10?
Now no, that's Canada actually. Canada's way worse. Now it's at I believe like 18. No, it's even less, like 17, 16. So it's getting worse.
the dollar or the peso?
The dollar is trading at less.
It's losing its power.
No
losing
shit.
its
Well,
value.
no shit. If I printed that much money through the damn printing
Well, of course,
machines
inflation.
at the Federal Reserve, obviously, it'd be losing value. But anyways, going back to El Salvador. So murder capital.
And the Fed.
Yeah. And the Fed. Yeah. So now, I would say as of a week ago, because I don't want to say as of today or yesterday, as of a week ago, which is when an interview took place with Tucker Carlson and the president, El Salvador is known as the safest country in the Western Hemisphere.
That's big.
Safest country. Mind you, this is a country that was more dangerous than Haiti.
Yeah.
Okay?
Even more dangerous than Los Angeles.
Well, it's now it's safer than our own capital.
Yeah.
our own capital, Washington, D.C., is more dangerous than El Salvador now.
Look, we have 6 murders for every 100,000 in the U.S., whereas El Salvador now is down to 2.
So here's what was going on. I wanted because I jotted down the notes.
We got our.
Zorab, I blame the fire department.
Where are they going? Find out where they.
All right, so I felt like that was done on purpose. But anyways, all right. So I want to piggyback on those numbers because I jotted those numbers down. So the gangs that fought back against the army and against the police in El Salvador. So 87 people were killed in El Salvador in 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you seem like it sounds a lot, right? 87
And
people
you know
in
why
3
that
days?
happened? Because this guy ended up pretty much.
Mass arrest.
He increased the military 2x.
Budget.
So he has doubled the military. He increased the police force, and pretty much ended up going after these guys, the gangs. And that's why initially the first 3 days there were 87 killings.
So you say 87 killings in a matter of 3 days. Does it seem like a lot?
No.
Okay, so let me rearrange this to the United States numbers. So that's equivalent to a 6 million population in El Salvador
In ratio.
in ratio wise.
Wow.
Now,
So if you compare that to America, it's
so in America, that's equivalent to having 5,000 deaths in 3 days.
3 days.
Now imagine this.
Well, it's Chicago, no?
That's documented, bro. That is documented. So now imagine this. Imagine if you were to hear on the news, whether it's CNN, Fox, MSNBC, I don't give a shit what news outlet you listen to. You hear on the news that in a matter of 3 days, 5,000 people had murdered each other, not killed, murdered each other through gang violence, through military, and it was basically martial law.
By the way, correction, El Salvador is Central America.
Central America, sorry. Did I say Central? Did I say South America? I said South of America.
No, you said South America.
Did I say South America? Sorry.
Oh,
Mexico?
you should have become. Your ass should have been a lawyer.
I'm just asking.
Is
I don't know why
is
we're
Mexico
listening. You
even-
should have been a lawyer.
Is
I'm just
Mexico
asking.
even is
North
Mexico
America.
considered South America?
No, it's North America.
because you said I've been to South America, Mexico, and
Did I say that? Fuck, bro.
Tijuana's not South America.
No, well, Tijuana's a different story in its own. Did I say?
You want
did
to
I-
tell us some Tijuana experiences, Arno? You can share. It's a sharing night.
This is the second time
Ma-
I'm
ma-
pleading the fifth tonight.
Maybe if Lydia pours another drink, Arno will open up about Tijuana.
Thank you, Lydia. By the way, Lydia, thank you so much for helping us out back there as well.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Keeping us hydrated.
Absolutely.
We all need drinks, right? But
I've been.
Just water for me. I don't use
Definitely, I need a refill right here.
Hey, is it free refills? I love it when sometimes you go to a restaurant with people. It's like they have no restaurant etiquette. It's like, can I get the wine refill? There is no wine refill, bro. You just order another wine.
Order it by the
There's no
glass.
refill?
Yeah,
bro, you either order it by the glass or you basically buy a bottle. It's either one of those.
Can I get it?
It's usually
Or-
cheaper buying it by the bottle, no?
Well, it depends on how much wine you drink. If you're gonna drink one glass, just buy a glass. If you're gonna drink 2 glasses of wine or 2.5 glasses of wine, just buy the bottle.
Or when
Yeah.
they say, I want a cup of wine.
Oh God.
Cup?
A cup of
Styrofoam?
wine.
Oh, no, red cup.
If I was a waiter at
Some
a
people
restaurant,
still use red
somebody
cups.
asked me for a cup of wine, I would literally bring it in a foam cup and here's your cup of wine, sir.
Some
No,
people
no,
still
no.
use red cups on shows nowadays.
Some people still drink wine from a box.
Actually, pretty good wine.
Boxed wine is not it's not bad actually.
It's not bad, bro.
That
Charles Shaw is pretty good, actually. yeah.
Charles Shaw I don't think they run anymore.
They
I
don't?
haven't seen it, yeah.
Really?
I used to flaunt it on Instagram all the time. Have you seen me flaunt Charles Shaw the last couple of years?
Well, they used to sponsor your ass. That's why.
I mean, it's $6.
It was $1.99 at Trader Joe's back in the day.
Listen, man.
For the small bottles?
no,
the price of
$7.50. Yeah,
Jeez,
the-
that's like
the
grape juice. It's not fucking.
Listen, the price of the bottle is a myth. You can buy very cheap wine and aerate it with the way they use those.
decanted.
Decanted. There we go, and it can become a $50
I think
bottle.
Oh, completely.
They only aerate wine in South America. In the United States, we decant it.
Actually, I think you get a lot of bang for your buck on the Charles Shaw, to be honest.
There you go. But look, we were discussing El Salvador
Yeah.
and what a country like that turned into in a matter of just a couple of years. They, as Edgar says, they cleaned out the swamp.
Yeah, we need that shit here. We need that same system to work here. Why do you think his inauguration had leaders from 70, 80 countries there?
But do you know there are citizens of El Salvador who are upset?
Of course.
And
The
those are
people that got cut off
those
are
are the
upset,
people.
of course.
No, not just the people who got cut off. It's no different than today. If you talk to a Biden supporter, I mean, you're wondering, like, what exactly are you supporting? What part of America today? Which policy are you supporting?
So they look at it as stability, guys. With the Democrats, one thing I've noticed is they call it stability.
What's that? Constant chaos?
Yeah.
Stable chaos. Oh, okay.
Because their families are more stable when there's chaos everywhere else.
Whose families?
All the Democrats, they live well when there's chaos.
But how about the people, though? Why are the people supporting
Why would
that?
they give a shit about the people?
No.
Why?
What I'm saying is there are people in El Salvador who support the previous regime, even after experiencing all the progress this new president has made.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm wondering.
They've been
How?
cut off. Anytime.
And I'm not talking about the 15 people that collect knowledge from everybody. I'm talking about the general population. I'm not talking about the corruption.
Oh, but think about it. If this guy pretty much did a mass jailing, right? Who did he jail? The people that are complaining today were either getting money. You know the auntie that was pretty much a little mom and pop store that was getting a little kickback and safety from those same people that are now in jail. Her money is cut off. When all she had to do is call in and say, hey, the cops are about to come blast into your house. Now she can't do that because the guy's already in jail. She's not getting kickbacks every month. She has a problem.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going to complain. Of course they're going to complain. Anytime anyone gets just like a job, bro. If you want someone to change a way they have, cut them from the money. Cut them from the money, they change. That's the only way to solve anything. You own a business, right?
Right.
Money controls it all.
Yeah. Well, what happened is not only were people thrown in jail, a lot of people fled the country as well. A lot of the gang members fled the country, which was the MS-13 gangs. That was the big gang that was there that was controlling the money flowing in not only out of El Salvador, but into El Salvador from the United States as well. And for those of you that haven't heard of MS-13, it's actually a gang that was originally started in the United States in Los Angeles.
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
And
18th
slowly,
Street.
yeah, literally, and
That's how it used to be called 18th Street, right?
and literally like a cancer, began to spread out. And it's funny, the president of El Salvador actually mentioned one thing, which it caught my attention right away. We aren't the most religious people in the world. We don't go to church every Sunday, but he mentioned something about MS-13 becoming very demonic
Satanic.
or satanic.
Well,
which
whole
is basically
world,
the same thing.
Or no, if you look at the world and every issue today, every country is dealing with the good and evil battle.
But hold
everywhere.
on, this is bro. I'm literally talking about satanic, demonic, meaning there was an incident that took place where it was an MS-13 gang member who fled the country. Okay, went to the United States, and when confronted, asking him, why he fled. Well, number one, he fled because when you're in a gang and you decide to leave the gang, you literally go into witness protection. You no longer own the name that you were born with. So thank you so much. So he went MIA. Now, when they asked him why, he said there was an incident that took place.
I guess I'm drinking.
Now you're drinking.
I guess you're
I
drinking
guess
with
I'm
us, Ed.
drinking. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So he said an incident took place where they asked him to basically sacrifice a child And this guy turned around. He
It was more like he walked in on a sacrifice that they were
to be part of it.
No. What happened was, from what I remember, he had walked in on a child sacrifice and he said, "What are you guys doing? Don't do this shit." And this is a guy that's killed many, many people. He doesn't even remember how many people he'd killed. And this guy walks in on a child sacrifice and says, "What the hell you guys are doing?" Like, that's when he left the gang.
Yeah. And obviously, if I'm sure if the gang were to catch him, he'd be one of the sacrifices. But that's why the president of El Salvador said that it's not only become a very dangerous gang, but it's become a very satanic and demonic gang, which is what he's kind of leaning on with the country. He's leaning on prayer, God, and the government itself. So he's a very religious individual.
Well, we could all take a lesson from that one.
Again, which is why I say, we aren't the most religious people in the world. Yeah, we do believe in.
When you say we're not, this is a Judeo-Christian nation.
That word's kind of scary.
Well, but it is. Whether
It's scary. That word's a damn scary word.
What's scary about it?
Because this was a Christian nation.
Okay.
Since when did it become a Judeo-Christian nation? That's what I want to fucking find out. It was a Christian nation. When the hell did that shit change?
Well,
When? When did it change?
I agree with you.
Fuck.
I agree with you.
Christian nation?
Yes, Christian. I think it should be a Christian nation.
Yeah. Why a Judeo-Christian nation now? I didn't agree to that shit.
Tell us how you really feel, Ed. Tell us.
I'm Christian. Jesus Christ is my savior. That's it.
Well,
I'm not Judeo-Christian. I'm Christian.
Have you seen the photo of the Capitol inside, as far as the actual Capitol building, what it looks like?
Yeah, menorah. Yeah.
It looks like a menorah. But again, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories.
If you want to get into conspiracies, you can go to the UN building.
You know which part?
You can go to the
which
Vatican
part
and
was so
get scared
interesting
out of
to
your
me,
mind.
where he's like, "Look, guys, you are still the most powerful country. You have the most resources. You have the most. You're able to bring in the smartest people from all over the world. Yet, and he brought up a very interesting comparison. He said, look, when the Empire State Building was built, it took you guys a year to build it. Now you've got this railway in California where they've built
We financed it 3 times.
Well, we've pretty much built like 6. I don't even think it's 600 meters. I think it's probably 600 feet. It's cost us $20 billion so far.
Bro, that thing's been financed 3 times and it's yet to do anything.
But that's the thing. Everything has become so politicized that what used to take us a year to build the Empire State Building, which at the time was the tallest building in the world.
Yeah.
And now...
Well, a lot of lives it costs.
Now it takes 14 years to build an ADU.
Joe, can you look it up how many lives it costs to build the Empire State
lot.
Building?
Well, remember,
sure
the
a
Empire State Building was built during the Industrial Revolution. It was a completely different time.
OSHA wasn't around.
OSHA wasn't around, man. So they were basically building shit with, basically, if let me put it to you this way. If I couldn't reach a certain level to weld something, little Johnny was underneath me holding my feet as I was welding something, not wearing safety goggles and not harnessed to anything.
Little Johnny and Arno might have taken a big
Plummets.
flight.
Who's Little Johnny?
I don't know, bro. I'm just throwing a name out there,
I
but
thought
you know
it
what I
was-
mean.
Johnny
I thought it was
was-
a
But
different
see,
reference.
Little Johnny was his co-worker back then.
That's Jimmy.
Well, just so you guys know, it's only 5 workers that died during the Empire. Still, surprisingly,
That's
Only
it?
5
That's
workers.
it? That's documented, bro. That's bullshit.
No, I mean, look, I'm not
So
going to
it's from
say
sources across the web.
across the web.
Yeah. So I don't know how accurate.
So
that is.
would the canal cost a lot of lives? That's for sure.
Which canal?
What was it?
Panama?
Panama cost a shit
Yeah.
ton of lives.
Again, on paper.
Possible. I'm not sure.
That's what. Look, here's the thing. When it comes to building certain infrastructure or buildings and stuff, I always look at it this way. I always look at it as how many deaths were there on paper and how many deaths there were in reality. That's what I always want to find out. The
Well,
Panama.
Arno A said Golden Gate Bridge had more. So
How many was the
Golden Gate is being used for that today.
I gotta check, but he had mentioned it, so I'll get a number out.
Okay.
Right now.
What's the canal? Can you look at the Panama Canal, please, Joe?
Yeah, I'll do both.
Okay, so the president of El Salvador did mention infrastructure, and he mentioned the Baltimore Bridge as well. And when Tucker Carlson asked him, how long do you think it would take for you to construct that? He said it would probably take us 2 years.
With whose budget? Their budget or our budget?
I don't know. Did he? I don't even remember what he. I don't remember budget mentioned. But he said 2 years. That's what resonated with me. He said a year, maybe two.
Who said?
The president of El Salvador.
Oh, okay.
So if he's saying it'll take them a year, maybe two, call it 3 years. How long do you think it'll take the United States to rebuild that?
I don't think it's ever going to get rebuilt.
The permits will take 8 years.
See, if we're going to talk about the Baltimore Bridge, the insurance should pay for it. Why is the U.S. government paying for this?
It's not only about paying for it. It's also about how long it will take to build. Mind you, again, we're talking about the most powerful country in the world. We're talking about a country that's able to build, as the president said, skyscrapers that can be completely filled with, whether it's businesses, whether it's tenants, whatever it is. How long did it take for us to rebuild after 9/11? 10 years?
Rebuild? We didn't rebuild the building.
Rebuild as in the Freedom Tower.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was a 15 or how?
I don't know much about New York. I'm sorry. If I don't know
10
something, I'll
years.
say I
10
don't know
years?
something.
10 years. It took us 10 years to rebuild that.
Oh, wow. And it's not even half the...
Well, I think part of that was because they couldn't agree on how and what they wanted to build to
memorialize.
the memorialize of the 3,000 and some individuals who
Ground Zero is the memorial. You have the waterfall memorial with the names
Right.
surrounding, but as far as the Freedom Tower and the West buildings and the buildings across where the Freedom Tower is, it took 10 years to build those.
Trump would have done it in 9 months. Probably.
Just sorry, guys. I have been having a little drink, so it's taking me a while. But
Lydia, no more drinks for our producer.
no, we're good.
no more for that guy.
We're good. We're good.
He's
Okay,
off
so
the list.
10 deaths. Oh, actually, a total of 11 workers lost their lives on the Golden Gate Bridge. But Panama Canal, 22,000 to 30,000 workers.
No shit.
and people still went back and said, "Yeah, I'm going to work here."
Well, considering malaria and yellow fever and all this other stuff, I mean,
They were probably not vaccinated. That's why.
Guys, not that I knew about that. I watched the documentary on that. When I was watching that documentary, that number, I had to rewind.
Bro, did you say 22,000?
22
yeah,
to 30,000.
22,000 to 30,000 workers.
Okay, see, this is what I mean. This is good. This piggybacks on exactly what I just said. They said the Golden Gate Bridge was 15 or 10 or whatever the hell it was. They said Empire State Building was 5, right?
Yeah.
Why is it that those are 5 and 7, but the Panama Canal is...
Well, Panama Canal is way trickier.
Bro, you're talking about
construction-wise.
10,000 people.
Yeah.
What, 10,000?
22,000 to 30,000 people, to be exact.
Where are
How
those...
many times more is that than 5?
Okay, 8,000. Okay, look, the reason why I'm saying it is, how are they coming up with that big of a gap? Are the 8,000 inside the concrete, inside the actual canal?
No, so they're coming up with that number because of the disease that it.
When it was built has a lot to do with it too.
Wait. What year was it built?
1904 to 1914.
Why does
Spanish
Levick say
restrictions.
5,600 died building the
Well,
Panama Canal?
5,600 did die. 5,609 did die. However, the number's more because of the malaria and everything else. So it's 22.
When was
to 30,000.
smallpox? I'm not smallpox. Sorry,
That was
the Spanish flu.
This is-
1918.
18. So it was the Spanish flu wasn't around.
You were 7 when that happened.
Roughly.
I mean, there was 2 attempts
because
to build
we're
it.
so phenomenal on numbers today. Jeez.
In 2047 was when we built the.
But again, it's sad that the president, a 42-year-old president, which is basically half the age of the president we have today, is
Wiser.
not only wiser. I really, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and if any of you guys watched it as well, he felt petty for our country.
He looked shocked to me more than petty.
Yeah, it felt like he was like, if I only had
control
1% of the resources you guys have. You have no idea. And look, and that's true. I think most of us on right side of the spectrum feel that way. It's like you have all these resources. You really cost you $1 billion to build Covered California website, really? Like,
Well, think about it.
can't do it for 50 million?
If they're printing the money,
Okay, print the money, but going back to
Someone's
the
gonna
education
steal it,
system,
brother.
going back to the education system, Harvard should not have a $60 billion endowment. 95% of countries do not have a $60 billion endowment. Harvard has a bigger economy than most countries in the world. That's not right.
look at that number. That's like maybe half the countries in the world don't have a GDP like that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous.
Armenia's GDP is 45 billion. And yet
That's a stretch.
Harvard has 60 billion laying around just in case.
Bro, Armenia's GDP is not 45 billion.
That's what I
think it's
read
about
recently.
4 to 6.
No. It was 16 to 18 years ago. I recently checked. It's up in the 40s now.
Wow.
Yeah. But still,
But Harvard's still rich.
Harvard, you got 200 students going there.
And mind you, Harvard's it's a massive campus. It's practically the size of Yerevan Square, man.
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
Why not?
I've never been to Harvard. I'm not going to argue with you either.
I have been to
So
the campus.
one more.
I've been to
little fact.
Harvard. I've been to Harvard campus. Sorry, Joe. I've been to the Harvard campus in Glendale.
That's the
Go ahead, Joe.
library.
Armenia's GDP currently is $19.5 billion.
Where this information? How is it?
Is that Wikipedia?
No.
How is it that?
ChatGPT.
No. Here, I'll tell you.
No, forget ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, I think it may be not up to date. Google it. I want you to Google.
Well, this was from 2022.
See, the problem is now AI is controlling everything. I remember reading 45 billion, and I was shocked too.
Mandala effect.
And now it's showing 2022 was 19.5 billion.
It's the Mandala effect. That's what it is. It's gonna control it. But Joe, in the meantime, I want to.
No, when you Google it, it's literally says what is Armenia's GDP? 19.51 billion USD in 2022.
Okay, that's even worse.
So wait,
60 billion endowment
For
that's
Harvard.
3 times the size
times.
of Armenia's GDP.
now there's countries that are smaller with smaller GDPs. Let's put it that way, folks.
Of course, there
Think
are.
about it. We're talking about countries, and then we're talking about
That's just Harvard. Imagine if you calculated all of them. Berkeley, Yale.
But hold on.
So
look
why
at
are these
Columbia.
people paying to go to school there?
They don't,
They
that's
should
the
be
thing.
free.
They have enough money for students to go for the next 200 years
For
at
free.
no cost.
you guys don't also forget about the alumni system that a lot of these top-notch universities have, and the amount of money that's being donated to these schools. If Armenia had the same amount of donors donating into the country, what do
The
you
same
think?
few people would have been jacking it anyways. What's the
I
freaking
get it. Well,
difference?
forget about jacking it. I'm just saying that if the same donors were to donate back into the country and the money was actually circulated back into the country, it would have been a tad bit different.
Well, yeah, look,
Okay.
Harvard's tuition makes up about, or in most universities, about 10 or 12% of their revenue. So Harvard, if, for example, if they're making, say, $2 billion a year, only about 10% is from tuition.
Well, shit.
The rest of it is donations. And
Cheers, boys.
You're drinking. What are you drinking there?
Ed.
I got tequila.
Don't pull things
Don't
out.
pull
Bro.
things out of the.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, buddy. There you go.
Remember, you have a catheter now. You can't.
Cheers, guys.
Damn. Cheers. I pull that catheter all the time.
Don't pull the catheter out. We don't want you to bleed on the show.
Jeez. But
go for it.
again, cheers, boys.
Wow, look at that.
I am hoping that. Ed, jeez. You're
One shot
Calm
and
down,
he's,
boys.
One
Calm
shot
down.
and he's ruining the set.
Calm down.
Lydia, do we have one of those blue pads? Those blue pads that yeah, we can put under Ed just in case.
we have an accident.
A little.
So at this point,
I'm wearing my diapers. Calm down.
at this point, to the people of El Salvador, to the president of El Salvador, cheers to you. We love what you're doing. we are truly hoping that the words that you spoke about Donald Trump possibly becoming president and taking the country back and creating a better America do come to fruition.
And you know what's beautiful about what he said is because a third of El Salvadorians left the country, and now majority are considering and going back.
Repatriation.
They're going back. And that's the beauty of it. Look, because we think, oh, it's so obviously El Salvador, 6 million population, that's smaller than Los Angeles, right? But still, the fact that they could change the murder capital of the world to become one of the safest countries in the world.
Western Hemisphere.
In the Western Hemisphere. Well, it is the safest in the Western Hemisphere.
Correct.
But globally, one of the
Globally, it's
safest.
one of the
Yes.
safest. Yeah.
Yes.
And which means there's hope,
There
right?
is.
All it takes is the right guy, the right woman.
The
Man
guy
or woman.
the guy that said hope fucked us all. So should calm down.
And we can kind of we can kind of end the topic with this one story which took place in El Salvador. So a very high-ranked gang member escaped to Spain from El Salvador, where he was captured by Spanish police. Now the Spanish police tweeted out something saying that they were able to capture this high-ranked gang member. The president of El Salvador retweeted that and said,
Send them back.
thank you, high kudos to you. Go ahead and send them back and we'll take care of it. Guess what Spain did?
You can't send them back now.
The Spanish government said that this gang member will not have a fair trial in El Salvador, so we're going to let you stay here in Spain.
He's still in jail.
But I mean, that tells you the corruption that's going on in Europe.
Well, they work together. So here's the thing. They work together to capture this guy,
Correct.
right? If the president of El Salvador, maybe a little unexperienced, maybe did it on purpose, I'm not sure. But if he hadn't retweeted that, extradition was going to happen because they worked together to capture the criminal. This guy was a main killer, part of the, what is it, MS-13
Correct.
gang or whatever it is. Now, by him retweeting that, in Spanish law, that guy has to be protected because he's not going to get a fair. They're right. He's not going to get any trial in El Salvador. He's going to go to that massive prison that they built.
Well, no, technically, he will get a fair trial. He will get the punishment that he thinks he does not deserve.
He should be punished. I'm not against the punishment.
Absolutely. But that's the thing. Them looking at certain type of corporal punishment is more of an unfair trial. They don't think that it should be that bad of a punishment. Again, I don't know what this guy said to the Spanish police. But I'll tell you this much. Something was exchanged. Whether it was ganja or whether it was dinero or pesos
Hey,
or Bitcoin.
está carísimo, eh?
I'm
I
just saying.
love it when he does that shit.
The whistle?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The whistle? Yeah.
Should I still continue to do it in our new place now?
Yeah, sure. It's part of your character, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, do it.
Gotta go to the
Let's do this. Joe, can you pull up a picture of Miss I'll tell you that. Miss Maryland, please.
You're giving me all type of challenges today, aren't you? Hold
If
on.
you could pull up a picture of Miss Maryland. If you can, it's okay.
Who's Miss
You
Maryland?
didn't prepare Joe,
For this one, no, unfortunately. This
Yeah,
was
he
a last
just-
minute thing. So did
huh?
you guys
Arnold's pulling tricks out of his.
sorry.
Hey, Joe, can you pull up
We're all in on
Say
the
the name
surprise.
again. Say it.
listing in Azusa?
Say the name again.
Miss Maryland. All right. While you're pulling that up, very quickly, did you guys know Miss Maryland? What she won? Miss America?
I don't know.
Guess what, guys? Miss
It would
Maryland.
be great if you ran this by us.
Is that
Well,
the guy?
I want to get your reaction. Miss Maryland is a dude.
What?
Yeah, Miss Maryland is a dude.
So this Mr. Maryland.
I guess no, Miss Maryland.
How
still
dare
Miss
you?
Maryland.
How dare you?
The
Eddie?
Miss USA pageant was won by Miss Maryland, who is a dude who's also married to a military guy.
Wow, that's quite the combination.
That's kind of pretty acceptable in our military today. Used to
All
be
right,
frowned
hold on,
upon.
hold on. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't want to put just a random because I don't know what she looks like. Now you guys said it's a man, and then I put a random person's picture up in the air. We're gonna get a lost.
Bro, type in June 6th of 2024.
There's a lot of pictures. Hang
Oh,
on.
is there? All right, then don't put it up. Don't put it up.
Yeah. Well, Arno will post a picture later.
I'll post a pic. I'll post a pic. Look. If you're not following us on IG, WiseNuts _podcast. I'll put a picture up tonight of Miss Maryland 2024. It's a dude. It's a guy.
Miss Maryland.
Make sure you don't accidentally post that.
You know,
picture.
there's a bunch of good-looking women in Maryland, right?
How would you
Sure
know?
of that. Bro, this is America. There's always beautiful
America,
women.
huh?
America has beautiful women.
Really?
Is it the
they
one
do.
with extra chins? I'm just curious.
No. That's Miss Alabama.
So what about Miss Maryland?
So you now have biological men going in and winning. I don't even know if I can say it. Can you call it a beauty pageant or would you call it a pageant? Because technically, it's not even a beauty pageant at this point
If
because
a
it's a
dude's
dude.
winning it, it can't be a beauty pageant.
Well, how did
Well,
he?
a man can be
how did he
beautiful.
look though? What would you rate him?
Arno would
jeez,
screw
bro.
him, so it's not a big deal.
No.
I think after one more old fashioned, Arno was ready to.
He's ready for what?
I will take you, Miss. Is it Maryland or South America? Which one? It's Mr. Tijuana for you.
Oh, jeez. But I mean, look, plastic surgery does wonders. I'll put it to you that way.
How
but
do you know?
in my opinion, I think if you're running for Miss anything or Mrs. anything or Miss Universe, you have to be a biological.
You should at least have a uterus.
At
That
least.
should be the minimum
That's the
qualification.
qualification?
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have question? Do you happen to have a uterus?
Can you reproduce?
All right.
Well,
Not
no.
qualified.
Wait. Don't say you can't say reproduce
Why
because again, not every female has the possibility of
Reproducing.
reproducing.
Well, technically, you can't even say, "Do you have a uterus?" Because they could have had a.
Not a vasectomy.
What do you call that?
By the way, guys, we have a topic on vasectomy as well. Trust me,
we
you don't want
talked
to miss
about
this.
vasectomy.
You
anyways.
you don't want to miss this one because we have a topic on vasectomy. But no, it's not a. It's not a.
Wild night.
See, now I forgot the term. You screwed me up. It's
It's a vasectomy.
not a. No, bro, what was that term called?
It's a female vasectomy.
No, there's a term for it here. Let me look it up real quick. Now it's gonna bother me if I don't bring
remove
it.
the wound or something.
No, it starts with an H.
Did you say wound?
Wound.
A wound is a
wound.
is wound.
Not a wound, but womb.
Joe, can we mute Ed's mic while we discuss science, please? Because
Don't ask me anything science related. I failed chemistry 3 times in college.
And this is the guy that was telling his kids not to be doctors.
Don't.
I don't want my kids to be that. Why? Because they'll know more than
Don't
I
even
do.
visit the
They'll
doctors.
give
99% of the doctors are bullshit, to be quite honest with you guys.
99%.
Yeah, definitely.
It's called
They go. So how do these doctors become doctors? They go to the same damn education system.
hysterectomy, boy. That's what
Hysterectomy.
it's called.
At
yes.
99%.
Yeah, that's a accurate number.
That's a
bro.
bold statement.
General doctors. Don't go to the general doc. But you need a doctor when you're ready to die. Go to the ER. Fuck it. No other doctor.
But go to
Screw 'em up.
remember when you go to the ER, ask if there's a doctor there. If there's a doctor, say fuck you. I don't want to.
Where do you get your 99%?
No. I'm talking about myself. For me, man, I'm not talking about you.
What about
Go
you?
ahead. Go visit your doctors. Get all the medication you can and get on all those meds. Do it. Let's see what happens to you.
No more shots for him.
No
Shouldn't
more,
have given
no more
that
alcohol
shot.
for Ed.
No, you shouldn't have given me that tequila shot, bro. That's why I said I don't drink alcohol.
Thank
See?
you, Levick.
Oh, you know what we could
Levick's
do?
always
You know
got
what?
my back.
Actually, we should offer one more shot. Let's see where this
Two, Ed.
Let's see where it goes.
Well,
It's done, bro.
we should offer him a shot before the vasectomy topic
the vasectomy. That's gonna be a good one as well.
because we are going to talk about vasectomy.
I know about
But-
that one.
And why you decided to get one, or did you get hysterectomy?
Neither one.
You had your uterus removed or your testicles? I forget.
I got both of them removed
Just to be
at
safe.
the same time.
Hey doc.
Yeah, it's
Hey doc, can you remove both? Sir, you only have.
Fuck it, remove it.
Are
Anyway.
you sure? Because they've been talking a lot about these trans women. You sure you can't remove them?
bro. You know what I would love to do? All these whack jobs that are into this whole trans movement. especially the dudes, I would love to go out and about in the city and ask like the guys who are for this trans movement if they would donate like their left testicle to somebody. Like literally, you know, people could donate kidneys and stuff. It's like, are you for trans movement? Oh yes, I am. I absolutely, I believe in the trans movement. All right, we were asking if you were willing to donate your left testicle to a
Why
trans
the left
woman.
one though?
All right, the right one. I don't know, bro.
Slowly, you're
I
gonna
just-
get the middle one donated too. Calm down.
No, jeez, bro.
Cheers,
Oh.
Luis.
You know that's not a testicle, right? I'm just saying.
We got a question from Levick asking what are the WiseNuts drinking?
The first one I was drinking was a neat Glen 12, and then this one
That's
Heidi
what
made
you
us say-
think. That's what you think. It's Snapple, bro. You think we're gonna trust you with alcohol?
Every guy just had one shot
with
of
these
tequila.
freaking notes? You think we're gonna trust you with anything more than Snapple?
Oh yeah, because I'm the one saying I
Yeah.
don't trust 99% of doctors.
Yeah, Lydia's over there just spinning the, and then Otto's. Oh yeah, I'm having what is it? It's neat. It's Snapple, bitch.
I had one shot of tequila. That's it. Other
That
than
was
that,
tequila?
I drank water. Yeah, it was tequila. Was it?
What was this?
What
was
did
that
you?
shot?
What was that
What did
shot that
get
you
me?
gave Ed?
What kind of shot?
Whiskey.
Was whiskey?
You can't tell the difference
Bro,
between
it
whiskey
tasted
and
like tequila to me, honestly.
Want tequila?
No. I'm good. I don't want any alcohol. You should never give me alcohol.
No.
Well, if
Well,
I drink a second one, a lot of shit will come
Let's
out.
check
of
his
you.
glucose levels right now.
I got an old fashioned.
I actually I'm sweating right now. Actually,
Let's
I'm
check your
good.
glucose levels
Yeah, it's
before we give you
all
another
good.
shot of vodka.
Me and alcohol never been friends. You should never give me alcohol. You give me alcohol, a lot of truth comes out.
all right. So
Then I'm in trouble.
here's another story that we want to very quickly cover, and we spoke about this roughly on the podcast off the air, but now we're bringing it on the air. So husband and wife married for 10 years, and I want to get your guys' reaction to this, and I want to get your input on this as well. Heidi, you're really gonna do this to him?
Lydia.
Or, I'm sorry, Lydia. Sorry.
Thank you very
See,
much.
now he's
see
calling
that?
you Heidi.
I'm calling you Heidi now.
Heidi. Where the hell did you pull
I don't
Heidi?
know, bro.
No. We're gonna find out where you got Heidi from.
Anyways.
Seriously, yeah. Where's Heidi coming from?
Where's
Well,
Heidi coming
The
from?
Heidi is the individual, the woman, basically.
Which woman?
No.
Okay, let me get to the story. Let me get to the story.
Okay.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Let's not open a can of worms here, guys.
I know. So okay, a woman, last name not disclosed, but a woman by the name of Heidi, married to an individual by the name of Michael, married for 10 years.
These
Now,
are real names?
These are their real names, but the last names are not disclosed yet.
Okay.
So they're married for 10 years. Michael and Heidi began their marriage and wanted to expand their family. Tried to get pregnant, wasn't working.
Were they doing it right?
I hope so.
Oh, okay.
I hope so. But Michael and Heidi ended up being seeing specialists.
I just got a crazy reaction out of her.
Did you?
She's spinning back there.
So okay, so listen to this. So for 10 years they'd been trying to have children, and Michael ended up seeing a urologist. Heidi ended up seeing a gynecologist, but Michael was technically not seeing
A
the
urologist.
a urologist. He was not actually visiting the doctor.
He was seeing a masseuse with that band.
Geez, I know where a lot of people are gonna guess different things about this story, but Heidi began to take certain pills and hormone treatments in order to get pregnant. Because a lot of the times, you know, when
Were they trying to do IVF or just natural?
no, it was all natural, and before getting
You
to
said there was pills involved too.
there was pills involved. So she was taking certain hormonal pills
okay.
in order to regulate certain things and to possibly conceive a child. Now, mind you, Michael is not seeing a urologist, so there is no sperm counts. It's basically all being bullshit. He's not seeing anybody. During a family outing, a family barbecue, one of the family members says, I got a girlfriend. She wants to have children. I don't want to have children. And Michael actually advises the individual, says, well, why don't you get a vasectomy? He says, oh, I've never thought about that. How does that work? And he goes, well, it's an outpatient type of procedure. It's fairly easy. He goes, oh, how do you know? He goes, well, I had one done a couple years ago. As he's saying that, Heidi is walking out
With the food in her hand.
with the food in her hand.
Damn.
And she drops
And
the.
drops it.
So everyone's hungry now?
So now listen to this.
Fuck that. Everyone's hungry.
Ed, listen to this. Now picture this. This is like a serious thing, bro. Imagine from the age of 28 to 38, this young woman is attempting to create a family with an individual who does not want to create a family. In fact, went and snipped, did a vasectomy.
Oh. That's what he did. That bastard Mike.
Do you know what a vasectomy is?
Hey, cut off his balls.
No, that's not.
No, that's not a
It's just-
vasectomy.
well, he cut off the
They
lines
tie-
to his
the-
fucking
they
tight his
tie
tubes
the
or
tubes
whatnot.
between from the testicle to the.
Wow, that's fucked up.
So he can't have kids anymore.
That's when
Mike's fucked.
he didn't neuter himself.
Oh, okay. Well, the same shit. If it's useless, might as well neuter himself. If it doesn't produce, what's the point of having it?
And I think your dad's gonna wish he had a vasectomy.
Shut the Hey, that's bad. That one's fucked up. I will go after you for that. You know how I am.
Because it's like, yeah, of
Get
course.
rid of your testicles.
Just,
Cut him off. Fuck it.
just put it in boiling water.
It's like, I haven't had sex in 5 years. Might as well just cut it off.
I bet Vegan Obar is proud of you right now.
Trust me, I've done worse.
He's watching this thinking,
I've done so much worse.
Rosic, where did we go wrong?
So I want to get everybody's input. So now this female is suing the shit out of this guy.
That's it. Just suing the shit out of this.
Well,
guy?
what else can you do, Ed, at this point?
Look, I agree with her. I think she should sue and she should win because
What is she gonna get?
that's malice, bro.
Of course, no. I'm not saying what Mike did is right, but by suing him, what do you get out of it?
Look, do you know the effects of the hormones she had to take?
Yeah, it's bad for her health, obviously.
Yes. And you deliberately manipulated her, lied to her.
Yeah.
For what? Because you wanted to have.
Why wouldn't it be easier if he said, you know what, honey, I don't want to have kids. If you want to have kids, you go on your own.
Of course.
I'll go on my own.
That would have been
That would
easier.
have been the right answer.
Yeah, because look, there's a couple of things that men do. There's two things. When they decide to get a vasectomy, if you're smart, you would freeze your sperm because you never know when you may want to use it. Because let's say you like to have unprotected sex, so you'd rather just have a vasectomy to protect yourself, know that for sure nothing's going to.
Did you freeze your sperm when you did it?
I froze my ovaries.
Oh, your ovaries.
Now, but even if you have a vasectomy, it's reversible. You can reverse it. You
so they just take the tie
can
and take
untie
it
it.
off. Oh, okay.
You can technically untie it.
But does it work the same after they untie it?
Yes.
Yes and no. Again, it's
Any organ that stops working,
It doesn't stop
no.
working.
It's not that it stops working. Here's
the
what
traffic flow stops.
Yeah.
The-
traffic.
Look, they due to obviously legal reasons, any doctor that does that procedure, number one, they'll say nothing is guaranteed, and then when they reverse it back again, they'll say nothing is guaranteed. So there may be a anybody who is doing a vasectomy who may potentially want children in the future. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a urologist or anything, but
you're not a financial advisor.
not a financial advisor either, but I would highly recommend to freeze sperm prior to getting a vasectomy, because if you do reverse it back and things get complicated, at least you have something in
Look.
the bank.
Since we're talking about this, I'll make another recommendation. Freezing sperm or
In
your,
like the freezer, like at home, or how does that work?
no, it's a different freezer. Amazon sells it actually.
Amazon
Yeah, it's $57, I think, Prime if you're a
Like an
Prime
ice
member.
tray,
Yeah.
like an ice trace.
No, but this is kind of, I guess it's off and on topic. This is my recommendation. If you guys are ever going to have any type of treatment, medical treatment, God forbid, whether that be chemotherapy, high dosages of steroids or antibiotics, anything, I recommend you freeze your sperm prior to the treatments, or
How
freeze
about
your,
for women?
ovaries,
Okay.
your eggs, not your ovaries, your eggs. Because you never know how that treatment is going to affect your body.
What about if you get vaccinated?
You're fucked.
I have no
Prior
advice.
to getting vaccinated, go ahead and freeze your sperm.
I have no advice for the. Please refer to Dr. Fauci. He's a medical doctor. I, on the other hand, am not a medical doctor.
Wait, Fauci's a doctor? Not according to someone I heard in the Congress. He's not a doctor.
He's a politician.
But I think this guy should be borderline jailed because that's
Borderline.
yes. I mean, look, take all his assets, anything he take it away from because this guy is a scumbag. You do not do that to another human being. You do not manipulate somebody for a decade, having sex with them. This woman going through treatments, thinking she's having intercourse because you're going to eventually conceive. That is, when you're a piece of shit scumbag. That's what you are to me.
Like, imagine. Look, this is 10 years, bro. From the age of 28 to 38, she's thinking she's married to this individual. They're gonna have a child. They're having unprotected sex, and she's buying pregnancy test after pregnancy test, taking hormone pills after hormone pills, thinking that, you know what, I'm gonna break the great news to my husband, and tell him that we're gonna have a child. But this piece of shit knows that he's having sex with her, and he's snipped. There's no way.
Look, imagine
He knows.
Look, we all have kids, right? The three of us have kids.
Yeah,
Well,
of
the four of
course.
us,
The five of us.
right? And I think for the most part, couples don't like, oh yeah, we're married, we're gonna have intercourse, boom, you're pregnant. No, the moment you decide, it takes time. And even that emotional roller coaster for a woman to do a pregnancy test and like, oh, damn, didn't happen this time. Next month we'll try it again, right? Imagine going through that for 10 years. That emotional roller coaster. On top of that, the hormone treatments and everything. And then to realize this guy was just using you. Why, bro? There's so many women out there that I will have sex with you without any of these attachments, without any obligations, nothing. I mean, there's so many of them out there, men and women.
This is deeper than just the sex, bro. This man is a sick individual.
That's one of the areas of the Jewish community I respect is they do testing before they get prior to their annulment.
Marriage?
Yeah. Is they test to make sure there's no issues with, chromosomes and all that jazz that can create
Issues for
health
pregnancies.
issues for the
Offspring.
fetus, and to make sure they're both healthy. Now, obviously in today's environment, 50-60% of couples are having difficulty with fertility, right?
It's pretty sad right
Which means it doesn't mean, okay, well, if you can't get pregnant, it's a no-go. It just means you have to be open to options. That's what it means. If you're not open to options, then this is all a discussion that needs to be had prior to a long-term commitment, I think.
Absolutely. Again, this, like I said,
now. So, Mike, you're an asshole.
absolutely.
Who's Mike?
Whoever,
The husband.
wherever you are, whoever you are, I really, truly do hope that you lose that case so badly, and I hope you rot in hell.
So this is a current case that's going on?
This is a current case that is going on.
Mike, I hope you lose that case.
Because look,
bastard.
man, having a child is a blessing in the sky. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's not the easiest thing to raise as well. Children are difficult, but look, at the end of the day, it's an amazing blessing, and children are a blessing in the sky. It's funny. I pulled
Children
up,
are just true blessings.
yeah,
That's it.
seriously. It's
Not
funny.
a
I,
disguise.
when I was pulling up some stats as well, I pulled up some stats on names as well. So do you guys know what the most popular boy names are in the UK? In not the US, in the UK. In the UK. What do you think the most popular name in the UK is?
Dan.
A boy name. Boy
Oh,
name.
boy
I
name.
have no idea.
Michael.
Mohammed.
Adolf.
Muhammad.
Wait. Let's go back. You said UK and then you said Mohammed.
Yes.
Now, that Mr. What's
Well, guess
what's
what
his
the
name?
se- well-
What's our Texas gentleman's name?
Abbott. Oh, Hector.
Hector. That's the reason I said what I said. Go figure it out.
So the most popular boy name in the United Kingdom is Muhammad. The most
Muhammad is Muslim,
No, I know. Doesn't
I know.
matter.
not
but
Jewish.
Doesn't matter.
But the funny thing is, in the United States, it's actually ranked number 8.
Mohammed?
Muhammad is in the United States. The second highest, or the second most popular boy name is Noah.
Look at you, boy.
Noah.
Gee.
Noah, Theo, Leo, and then Oliver. Oliver.
Oliver.
Well, I have a nephew named Leo, so that's.
Well, you guys took 2 of the 5.
What was the other one? Geo?
No. It's Muhammad, Noah, Theo,
Oh, Theo.
Leo, and then Oliver.
Because I have a Geo nephew as
Yeah.
well. That's why.
The second.
Did you guys go to UK and pick all the names?
well, no, it was funny when I
I'm
pulled
just
it.
glad you guys didn't use Mohammed.
No.
That's- glad.
The reason why I brought this up is because they actually went out in the streets. Well,
Good question.
I know. Vic was actually saying what happened to Armenian names, but it's
Noah's
funny.
not Armenian name?
No,
It's not, of course not.
What is it?
Noah from the Bible.
Judeo-Christian.
It's
the Bible?
Judeo-Christian, bro.
From the Bible, okay? Isn't the Bible Armenian?
Well, they landed in Armenia. They landed on Mount Ararat, Armenia. So
Bible.
maybe.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we need. They landed in Armenia.
Well, I mean, the language to speak with.
And this is not South America.
The language to use to speak to God is Armenian. So, there you go.
You guys are so judgmental tonight.
But as far as girl names are concerned, top 5 in the UK: Olivia, Amelia, Islam.
Islam. That's
number
a girl's
3.
The
name.
name is Islam. The name is Islam.
Islam.
Isn't that the name of the religion? What's
interesting.
going on, man?
Lily, and then Ava.
Okay, whatever.
That
I'm not in the
crazy,
UK.
man. That crazy.
But yeah, it's just fascinating to me.
I'm sure UK thinks they're one of the best countries in the world too. I'm guessing.
See, that's the funny thing. They actually went out. I found this article when I was searching through the whole child thing with Heidi and Mike. But when I came across a video about it, it was a gentleman interviewing people in the United Kingdom and in Scotland, asking them what's the most popular name in the United Kingdom, and a lot of them were saying, Oliver. A lot of them were saying Charles. A lot of them were saying Richard. A lot of them were saying William. And guess what it was? When they said Muhammad, bro, their eyes like rounded up. Like
Who's the current prime minister of the UK?
he's an Indian individual. He's
they have one?
Indian. Yeah, he's Indian. Yes,
He's what?
he's
wasn't
Indian.
wasn't he the mayor of London? That guy
Or
you're
the-
talking about?
No. The prime minister. I'll tell you who it is. He's Indian. Oh, my phone is dead. Joe, who's the prime minister of England? He's Indian.
Is he Indian?
Yeah.
Confirm that.
He is Indian. Or is he Paki?
Where's he from, Joe? Levick, where's he from?
You're asking for which country again?
London.
The United King, England, United Kingdom's prime minister.
Northeast of South America.
He's Indian. I know for a fact.
He
I forgot
looks
what his
like- he
name
looks
is.
like- I know. He wasn't he the mayor, bro?
I don't know if he was a mayor or anything, but I know he's the prime minister. Very well spoken, very intelligent individual.
He looks like Obama a little bit.
He's part of the problem.
He's part of the
Here,
problem.
Prime Minister of the UK, Rishi Sunak.
There you go.
Rishi
Indian.
Sunak. No,
Indian.
no. Don't just say
Right.
Indian.
He's Indian.
Yeah, he's right, bro. He has Indian roots.
He's Indian.
That's not my point, though. It's not about him being Indian.
What is it then?
Yeah, it's Rishi Sunak.
Let's see. He was born in Hampshire, England, right?
Correct.
Whereas
Hampshire, sir.
he has, if I remember correctly, he has a Muslim background.
I don't know. If you could find it, from
Then
what I've
maybe he's
what
not
I-
Indian. Maybe he's
I
Pakistani.
got a little bit of detail on him if you'd like me to read it. You
Go
guys
ahead.
go ahead and I'll leave the camera on you while I read this. The current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom is Rishi Sunak. He has been in office since October 25th, 2022, succeeding Liz Truss. Before becoming Prime Minister, Sunak served as Chancellor of the Eschequer from February 2020 to July 2022. He is a member of the Conservative Party and has represented Richmond Yorks as a member of Parliament since 2015.
Because remember, the United Kingdom's prime minister changed multiple times.
Yeah, it was Boris, and then that lady came in.
Yeah,
for like
it
3
was-
hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, literally. It was
She
like
was visiting.
for some reason it was like nobody wanted the job. But anyways,
So if no one wants a job and someone takes that job, what are your expectations of the person?
depends on what the job is.
Bro, leader of the country. And not just any country. A country that has a large hold of this country.
And
Large hold on this country today.
in the beginning of this podcast, in the middle of the podcast, we talked about the United States and we talked about El Salvador. And now you're saying the leader of this country. Do you really think he is leading the country? Especially the United Kingdom. And this is me kind of, poking you a little bit.
I don't know, man. I don't know much about that country.
All right, then. That's
I really don't.
That's a different story.
You guys know, man. If I don't know something, I'm not gonna say. But I do believe England as a whole, UK as a whole, still has a majority hold on the United States overall.
There you go. Well,
That's a show.
that's what I got. That's what I got as far as discussions for today, guys. If you guys have any other, unless you guys want to talk about the invites.
Or what we can
Okay.
do is we could talk about how we're almost at the Cuban Missile Crisis situation right now. Did you hear about that? The
No.
nuclear
Well,
sub is-
Russia has some nuclear nuclear warships
Submarine.
are including a
They're
submarine.
boats.
They're boats. They are in Cuban waters, and that's like pretty much what Joe's talking about. Is pretty much Cuban Missile Crisis in 2024. Same thing. We have Russian warships and submarines right now in Cuban waters, which is pretty much miles off the U.S. coast.
I honestly think at this point it's a flex from Russia to the United States at this point.
Well,
Well-
so how about this? We talk about this. For the last 20, 25 years that I know of, so USSR broke itself into different countries with the promise from NATO to not encircle Russia. But what NATO has done has pretty much clamped down on Russia. In return, Russia, which is pretty much a stupid move, has brought its warships to Cuba.
Correct.
This is a stupid move.
pretty much.
They're playing sword fight.
So this hasn't happened since 1962. That was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. What's currently happening is it's a response. A lot of people are saying it's a response from Russia based upon since the last funding of the Ukraine in regards to the United States funding Ukraine, now allowing them to use U.S. weapons to supposedly defend Ukraine. So this is the situation.
You don't
right
think it
now.
has anything to do with also the threats being made to Iran by the U.S.?
I'm sure there's a lot at play. My opinion doesn't matter in the situation. All that matters right now is we're very close to the same thing as what was happening in 1962, which we're a brink away from having a nuclear war.
Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
So do we.
Exactly.
Just like our opinions.
But yeah, I mean,
You seem to have two tonight.
Oh, I'm about to take another shot, people. Let's call it a night before I get my second
he's
shot.
about to get his third asshole right now.
Do you guys want to talk about?
But-
Sorry, go ahead.
Let's do the one last topic before we call it a night. As far as the invites, yes or no?
Let's do it.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because we were again we were going to
about
talk about
to
it.
start talking about it. We stopped. Let's do it.
Okay, so here's
And
what's
this
going
is
on.
going to be the final
So-
topic, boys.
yes.
We got to call it a night. We have
Ed's got his drinks going on. But look, the society has changed. You guys know it. Everybody knows it. A lot of things have become digital. A lot of things have become more virtual. And invites is one of them. the one thing I've been noticing is a lot of people have been inviting people to very larger events. I'm not talking about birthdays. I'm not talking about quinceañeras or anything like that. I'm talking about like weddings, engagements, and stuff like that. Do you too? And again, we could ask the audience as well, whoever's watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Do you believe that invitations for a very large gathering, whether it's a wedding, an engagement party, something where you're literally taking a big step in your life, should be done via evite or text?
I'm okay with either one.
What's the significance of?
Remember,
Because I remember
they used to bring the car.
well back in the days, yeah, you have to go. Obviously, you know,
I'm not talking about door to door. Forget door to door.
the grandparents' house. I'm sure they will still go. I hope, because my grandma doesn't have a smartphone. I can't evite her to an
She
event.
doesn't take your emails?
No, she's had problem with her internet lately.
Yeah.
But
It's not 5G yet.
20 or so years ago, you had to go to, every uncle's and aunt's house and physically hand them your wedding invitation. Or those days are gone, long gone,
yeah.
right? I personally don't care how I get invited, unless the only thing that would maybe bother me is if it's a last minute invite, like as if somebody else is not showing up, so we got
We have a
That's a
spot.
different
That's a
story
different
in its
we
own.
got a spot for you.
So picture this. Again, let's think hypothetically. One of our very close friends is single, for example.
Matt's going to invite you guys evite, see?
Matt invited us on Instagram message. I don't even think we're getting an invite.
That's a different story in its own. But like, picture this. Picture one of
And
your.
it wasn't an email. It was, hey, what are you guys
I
doing
may get
on?
married.
What are you
I
guys
may
doing
get
on
married.
so and so date? And we're like, Arnold's like, I'm getting a vasectomy. I was like, I'm getting a hysterectomy. Ed's like,
I'm getting
I'm
pregnant.
getting a colonoscopy. We're all having medical procedures.
On the same day by the same urologist.
Okay, I just added a poll for how would you prefer to be invited to an event, evite, text, or
No.
traditional card?
Don't say event. That's the thing. This
There's
is
event
wedding.
and then
listen
there's
to
wedding.
listen to where I'm going with this, because in my opinion, and again, I said it before and I'll say it again, opinions are like assholes. If somebody is gonna text me and invite me to their wedding, and just literally like, and if it's a close person, that means they don't want me there.
Really?
100%.
Well,
Why?
When you
Because
say,
if it
I've lost every card they bring to me.
no, it's not about the card.
I don't give a
If
shit
it's,
what
about
is
if
it
it's,
that.
about?
look,
Why are
I
you-
look at it as the principle of it.
Why?
Because if it's somebody close to you, as a very
You
close
shouldn't
friend,
be having principles if it's someone close to you. So it's not close to you.
Let me finish. If you break bread with that individual, there should be at least some sort of vocal phone call or meeting, something where, hey, listen, bro, I'm taking the next step in my life. We're looking to get married. I'm gonna send you an invite.
so hold
Instead
on.
of boom, I get a text message. Oh, you're invited to.
Well, you said breaking bread, which means you probably had a recent encounter with them, which means they probably mentioned it to you that, hey, by the way, we're getting
We're
married,
going to get
guys.
married soon.
And,
Okay,
and
so-
we're gonna, we're getting married at so and so hall, and we're gonna send you an invite.
Do we have a poll up, Jay? I mean,
Well,
Joe.
Yeah, sorry. So I reworded it and I said for a wedding. So yeah, the
Joe.
poll's up right now on YouTube.
This guy's so sensitive, bro. He wants a physical card where he opens with confetti.
You like one of those fucking pop-up cards,
We
dude?
invited to Joe's wedding.
No, I'm just saying.
What
What
do
I'm
you
just
want?
saying is if it's somebody close to you, I wholeheartedly believe that there should be some sort of.
If they're close to you, then you've had a conversation.
But that's the thing. Society is changing. That's not what's happening right now. A lot of people are basically becoming socially awkward,
so
where
then
they
they're not
don't.
close to you.
Yeah. Your definition of close is different.
What's your definition
if
of
someone's-
close?
Listen to me.
Bro, if someone's
beauty-
close to me, they don't even need to invite me. My ass will show up.
The beauty of all this, listen to this. The beauty of all this, we've been doing this for 6 years. The beauty in all this is all being documented. Mark my words. Things are going to get so socially awkward and everybody's going to become so sensitive over communication via phone and in person. Everything is going to go virtual, bro. Everybody's going to be sending messages and evites and this. Just remember what I'm saying. Again, this is the beauty of all this being recorded live and being put online. I'm just saying that there are certain things that should be kept a little bit, I don't want to say old school, but a little bit more sentimental.
Okay, let me tell you my last experience. The last wedding I was at, invitations were brought to our house. my house and my parents' house. I lost the invitation the first day. The day of the wedding, I had to have my mom take a picture of it and text it to me. You think I give a shit about that piece of paper? If I'm gonna wholeheartedly
It's not
go
about
to that event,
it's not about the piece of paper. That's not what you're. That's
Bro,
not what I'm going
if
with.
it was text to me,
If
I'm
you're the
fine.
cover, I understand. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get a cover
Cover
proposal.
Segan
Cover is best man, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want a best man proposal text. Hey, but what are you doing? You want to be my best man?
And again, don't be surprised if society
That's-
heads that way.
That's fine because
That's
everything's
not fine,
changing,
bro.
Everything's changing. If there's
Look,
things you're willing to accept,
I haven't
you
been.
have to.
I haven't been to. I mean, I don't go to that many weddings. I haven't been to a wedding in a while because everybody I know has been married for a while now. But for me, it's like anybody that got married, I knew they were getting married. It wasn't a shock where I just got an Evite out of nowhere and I checked my email. Oh, gee, Vic's
Bro,
getting
I'm-
married.
At
We
this
didn't know
point,
that.
at this point,
Again,
when I get
don't-
invited to weddings, I'm just happy I'm invited to a wedding and there's a man and a woman getting married. That's all I'm fucking looking forward to.
Exactly.
Jeez,
and if I do get
you
a
can
random
text me at this point.
look, if I get an Evite from somebody I haven't seen in 5 years, then there's a high likelihood that it's going to be very easy for me to say,
That you see where I'm going with
I
this?
don't feel like going.
Okay, did you see where I'm going with this? That approach to certain people is a way of them saying that, listen, I'm sending you an invite. If you want to come, by all means, you can
But
show
they're
up.
sending it to everybody.
But
If
if you
I
don't-
was being discriminated, like, certain people got an actual physical card, but I got an Evite, that's different. But if everybody's getting an Evite, I don't care. And if I haven't seen you in 5 years, I may not even want to come to you.
If I haven't seen you in 5
So-
years and you send me an Evite, I may think about coming to your. I may think about it. It might be something where, we don't see each other. But if it's somebody you talk to more often, you see more often, or you possibly break bread with, and they send you an Evite, there you go.
So here's what it is. Armon's throwing a vasectomy party. He emails you. What are you going to do about it? Not show up?
Vasectomy party. More you could at least see a bar mitzvah.
Okay, circumcision party. The same thing.
Circumcision party.
At the tender age of 44.
Yeah. Tender age of.
The doctor could just
God.
flick it off
All right,
at
let's
that
call
point.
it.
All right.
Guys,
then-
if we go any further, this is going
And
to
what's
turn out
that?
bad.
What's that Switzerland food they have? They dip it in cheese. What's it called?
Sure.
They dip everything in cheese and eat it.
I don't know. Bro.
What's that called? Where's JJ?
JJ, what's that?
Fondue? Is that
Fondue.
fondue?
Fondue. Yeah.
Never mind.
I asked him because we were talking about fondue yesterday.
Well, fondue, you could do anything could be
What were
fondue.
you
You could
and
have
Jay?
chocolate
Wait,
fondue.
why
Remember-
were you and Jay talking
remember-
about fondue?
Hold on, what were you dipping in fondue and giving to Jay?
Remember, it was not Meet the Fockers, the other one, where
Meet the parents?
Meet the Parents, where he brings out Gay Focker's old album and the foreskin falls into the fondue.
Yes.
That's why I thought of fondue.
Oh, jeez. All right,
No, we
gentlemen.
were not having fondue, and Jay's not recently circumcised. He was circumcised
20 years
3 weeks ago. Or was it 6 weeks ago?
Is that why he's holding his genitals?
That's why he's wearing shorts.
No, he had one of those dog plastic things around for 3 weeks, so he wouldn't lick himself.
All right, we're done, bro.
All right, we're done. All right,
Wait,
everybody.
before we go, don't you guys want to talk about the new features that's coming out?
Which one?
Well,
we have new features?
we're gonna be having.
Well,
new
why don't you
features.
guys tell
What's
us about our
changing in
new
the show?
feature?
Hey,
Do you-
Joe, you want to tell us about this
Joe,
shit
tell
before we
us.
go live
Do you
on the
guys?
air?
How do you guys like our new set, guys? You guys,
Yeah, comment down there.
should we go back
Oh,
to
they
the
got a
old
lot of
space, or are
comments.
you guys enjoying this new set?
What's the new stuff?
We're getting a lot of good feedback on the new set. Just so they know, there's a lot of new features coming out, guys. So the audience is going to be able to communicate a lot cleaner, a lot better. There's new.
Oh, are you talking about the
merch
super
stuff is coming?
Okay, so you're right. So here's what's going on. We're gonna have a merch store that's gonna be available. You guys are gonna be able to go pick up our classic shirts from the Fuck Your Feelings to the Legalized Freedom to a lot of our old merchandise. That's
The
gonna be
new ones too.
and the new ones as well.
Oh,
We
the
have
new ones
guys. We
are-
have this phenomenal shirt. This is a teaser as well. We have a phenomenal shirt coming out. It says, "Sorry, I was late. I didn't want to come." So there's that one coming out. There's plenty more where that came from. So our merch store will be live as well. We're gonna have live interaction as far as super chats, but not through YouTube. It's gonna be a super chat where you'll be able to donate X amount of dollars, mics shut off, and your comment will be read out loud on the speakers. So there's that feature coming out. What else do we have, Joe?
All of those listings are going to be posted.
Yeah, all my listings are going to be posted, and you guys will be able to purchase properties through me live on the show. We'll have a lender pre-qualify you on the spot.
Yeah.
And then he said that, Armand, what's our percentage on those sales?
Anyways, guys, today's show was brought to you.
That's the percentage.
You see what I have to go through every Monday? This is what I go through every Monday.
We're still waiting for the wooden box.
At least we get to discuss your industry. We don't ever talk
Yeah,
about
what are we going to talk about ours?
Yeah.
I can't make money off of
Yeah, because the woman getting her ovaries removed was a vasectomy. Correct, absolutely. I'm just saying. Anything else, Joe, before we call it a night?
There's a lot more, but I think it's better we keep it as a surprise.
All right, guys, if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, WiseNuts Podcast on Instagram. If you're not following us on Facebook, please subscribe there. YouTube, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification.
Before
Twitter,
you leave, go get a like for us. Come on.
exactly. Everybody,
and before you wrap it up, let's have the guys come on the set. You know,
Yeah,
all the guys behind the scenes.
yes.
This is our first podcast.
Where's everybody? Zorab,
Zorab,
Zori,
Zori,
Vic,
Teddy.
Teddy. Where's Teddy?
Is
Teddy
Alex here?
Alex? No.
Oh, jeez. All right. Guys, these are the gentlemen who
Let's
have
go, guys. Come
literally
on.
Let's get on stage.
Let's go, guys. Come on in.
Come on to the stage. Don't be shy.
these fine gentlemen are the ones we actually gave a toast to. We want to thank each and every single one of you. Alex isn't here with us, but Alex, if you're watching, we want to thank you as well. Without you guys, seriously, this wouldn't have been possible. We appreciate everything that you've done for us and created in this amazing, amazing building. Because truly,
We're blessed, bro.
we are blessed, and the city of, can I say the city? The city of Glendale is blessed to have you guys bring back to life a very historic place. So cheers to you guys. Thank you again. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Vic, thank you to you. Joe, thank you to you as well. Guys, today's podcast.
JJ, thank you for the photo shoot, for all the sexy
Jay.
shoots.
Thank you for
JJ,
that.
thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Mr.
Thank
JJ.
you for the photo
and
shoot.
then our bartender as well.
Lydia,
Yes,
thank you for the
Lydia,
amazing drinks.
thank you for the drinks as
Cheers,
well.
Lydia.
Is Armin doing the barbecue for us?
Is he?
Oh,
Look at
yes.
that.
There we go. After party, baby. After
After
party.
party.
We
Guys,
don't want to announce that because we're going to have a packed house.
I know, seriously.
Keep certain things on the down.
Guys, today's show will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all major podcasts. Mañana. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys all next week.
Peace.